It's a little dead meme. Fuck you, little bitch. You think you can fuck with me? What about ring? Fuck you, little bitch. Hey, look, I'm hoping some bread. Fuck you, little bitch.
Oh man, what the hell were we talking about? We were on like a pretty good
Scooby Doo.
I don't know, but before Scooby Doo was like who? Because first it was Damage.
Oh yeah.
And then
Dommage literally being damage in French.
It's
disgusting.
It sounds
That's
it's just amusing to me that that's like real because like I just said that I didn't know I was right. I didn't take French. I'm not even remotely French. I mean I don't know. Puerto Rico's maybe, but like
omelette du damage.
the omelet of damage.
Yeah, omelet with damage.
Dude,
Well, I guess it's not. It's of damage. Yeah, obviously, dude.
well, I don't know actually. Like I sincerely,
No, it's
I don't
just
know. I don't know anything about French at all.
I know a little bit. It took 2 years.
Damage.
You took 2 years of French?
I took 2 years because I was like, I grew up with enough Spanish people around me that I'm like, I understand enough. Let me do something useless. And half of the class was people that were fluent in Spanish, or more than half. It was most of because so they can just get an easy grade. They're like, oh, I'll learn a couple of things since I already fluent in Spanish. And then they'll just learn a couple new because it's so fucking similar. It's very similar.
You know what's crazy? My grandma who speaks Spanish and French says French sounds different from other Latin languages. She said between Italian, French, and Spanish, she said she thinks French is the most different out of all of them.
French feels like the most different because it's got those like or like those like
it just
phlegmy.
doesn't follow the rules. It doesn't follow the rules of the other ones.
I feel like French is what would happen if like those other languages were just a little bit more German. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like throat things going on with like the French language. It's very bizarre. Like Italian and like Spanish are
similar.
They're the closest. They're the closest together.
Borderline the same. Like it is like it's Italian is just sing-songy Spanish basically. It's just like, hey, what if it's hey Italiano, hey, it's literally just all this like it's just cadence swapping is all it is.
Some of the words just look the same. There's like one letter different. Just like senoras and senoras.
Yeah, it's like a
minimal difference.
Like,
Portuguese is fucking weird.
Yeah.
We had one friend who was Portuguese and he could speak Portuguese and he was like, yeah, it was this, he never, like, he was like, me knowing Portuguese has not helped me at all in life ever. It was Marco. Marco can speak Portuguese.
Yeah, you're right.
My language is not useful. Like, I know Italian, luckily, so I'm useful with that.
Now, is he Portuguese, or is he like, raped and pillaged Portuguese, like Brazilian?
He's half Portuguese, half Italian. So he's not Brazilian. The fact that Brazilians speak Portuguese is always the weirdest shit to me ever. I was just like, what?
Well, I feel like, don't you think that like Spanish and Portuguese people don't get shat on enough when you think about imperialism? When you think about like, say, just how like conquistadors and whatnot, like they don't know, no one shits on them. Not really. Like it's just almost accepted.
I'm a Taino Puerto Rican from my grandma's family, so I'm very aware that the Spaniards are monsters. My grandmother can speak Taino, and she's like, they destroyed our island. They ruined it, and we don't even have our language there anymore. People don't even know that there was a language prior to Spanish there.
Yeah, I'm seeing
like,
people that look like you, and then they're speaking Spanish, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a
like, that's a nigga. That's an African. What is he speaking Spanish for?
You're from Spain. You're a Spaniard. You're from Italy. You're Italian. Like, what is a Is that like a Portugoose? Like, what's Portuguese?
I think you're just. Are you just Portuguese? You're just Portuguese, huh?
Yeah, I guess Portugal is the.
And why do they have so much influence? Do you see how small their fucking country is compared to anything else over there? Like Spain, France, and Germany have big ass fucking pieces. Portugal basically is carved out of Spain, and they like fucking conquered an entire South America, basically.
Look,
it's pretty impressive.
I don't want to speak on geography that I'm not familiar with, but they seem to me, to an uneducated observer, Portugal seems like New Jersey almost, whereas it's just kind of it's like there, and it's like it's kind of New York, but like
I mean, look, I already hear people saying things like, "Oh, what about England? England's small too." I hear the comment section already. Like, listen, if you're here for an education, you're on the wrong podcast.
You think they know how big England is? Nobody listening to this podcast knows how big England is.
Yeah.
England's not big.
You know what I
I've
learned?
been there. It's not big. It's not a big place at all.
Dude, I learned like a lot of, especially like when you see an atlas globe, I learned that the way that it's viewed and the way that it's mapped is so incredibly wrong.
Oh, that pissed me off.
Not even actual like world maps are measured the right way.
Yeah.
Like they're just not done right.
Well, because it's impossible to map out a sphere on a flat plane. So like it's just like everything's like contour. I forget what. There's like a website that lets you actually like go onto like the globe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was starting to see. That's what tripped me out, and I was actually it kind of I was pissed off about Greenland. Because Greenland, I thought like Greenland is this massive fucking continent that's just like pretty much frozen. It's not as big as you think. Yeah. And it really upset me.
Greenland,
like,
Greenland is probably like, I don't know. Greenland is so shockingly small. It's like it might as well be a Subway, like a sandwich shop. It is so.
It's not that small, but it's definitely way smaller than
like,
it's exhibited.
But
it's
like in comparison to how like what you think, in comparison to what you think about Greenland. It is disappointingly small. It is like frightening. I wish I knew what that's. For those of you, we kind of interrupted because like we just kind of know what we're talking about. But if you guys are listening and you haven't seen this thing before, it's like some website that you can like kind of drag states and countries across the globe to see how big they actually are in relation to other countries. So you could drag like Texas over Antarctica and see like how big they actually are in comparison. Instead of just on the globe where things are kind of distorted. Like I remember thinking,
Texas bigger than Germany?
Texas is huge. I don't know if it's bigger than Germany, but like I wouldn't be fucking surprised at this point. My whole
Texas is like the size of a lot of like European countries. Like actually, no, it's much bigger than a lot of European countries.
I wonder if I Google like globe drag size, like maybe like.
So I don't know if you can see this, like, but like here's a good example of what you would think and what Greenland looks like versus here it is like when you look at it on the map, you're like, wow, Greenland's pretty big, and you see the actual size. It's just like basically could be a country in Africa.
Yeah,
and so it's like, oh, that's so misleading.
Oh, here it is.
It was.
So you found the
website?
Yeah. So the website is called thetruesize.com, and it just
like some. Sounds like some conspiracy shit.
it really does.
Texas is the size of France. Texas is the size of France. Texas is bigger than Germany.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of insane to think about.
Crazy. Texas is larger than most European countries. Texas is the second. It's 2 times larger than Germany. Roughly two.
It is bigger. It is actually.
That's insane.
Texas
dude.
by itself is bigger than Ireland and the United Kingdom.
Yes, it is. It is.
That's
fucking
so
insane,
stupid.
dude.
And you could fit all of Iceland in the middle of Texas and still have the overwhelming majority of Texas left. It's like it like this. I hate this website.
And France is slightly bigger than Germany, than Texas. Slightly. That is fucking crazy. That is why no one comes here, because it's so big and it's so many people. They'd be like, nah, we can't do it. It's this. We'll bomb them if anything.
And man, I can't even describe to you how disappointed I was when I learned about like Antarctica. You know, because Antarctica is. You've been led to believe it's the biggest fucking thing in the world because it takes up it's almost like the bottom of space, and it's pretty fucking big. Like it's like, you know, it's a sizable.
Antarctica was big.
You never thought Antarctica was big?
No, because I kind of know what it looks like. It's just kind of the frozen bottom.
Right, but
it's
like
not huge.
No, but on every map, it takes up the whole bottom of the map. Is what I'm saying.
It takes up the entire bottom. Like when you ratio it, like look at the ratio of it to Australia or South America or something, and then look at the chunk that is displayed on the map. It looks like, oh my god, that is just like a fucking eighth of the fucking. You know, like it's not even. that's just a piece of it. It's not even like the bottom and then the other parts of the, you know what I mean? It makes it look like it's so insanely massive.
Yeah, it's so which in hindsight,
I just know.
In hindsight, that makes it like a lot of sense, obviously, because like like a map is just the entire circumference of the world. So obviously, if something takes up the whole bottom, it's looping around in on itself. But it's still like,
but I guess they don't have the points touching. So if the points were touching, you would see it be a much smaller piece of land.
It's just an infuriating website. Like, I just don't like seeing this because it just makes me feel like every single bit of geography I ever learned was just wrong, even if it isn't. Just feels that way emotionally.
I mean, I felt that way when I went to Puerto Rico, and I realized how small. So because like Puerto Rico's small, then I went to St. Thomas, and St. Thomas is much smaller than Puerto Rico. Because in Puerto Rico, you can see from shore to shore.
Yeah,
like if you go up top of your roof, you can probably see one side and the other side.
Look at Tom Sweeney, bougie Tom Sweeney. He has a roof he can stand on.
Nice. And then if you're in just like if you're in freaking it's Charlotte Amalia is the capital of St. Thomas. It's like the neighbor to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You can just like turn around and see all the water surrounding you, and you realize how small of a place you're on.
Yeah,
and it's like shit, dude. People live here. People live in this goldfish of a place.
That's why baseball is so popular there, because you can't play a single game without everybody knowing about it. Because like there's just the ball just goes across the island, and everybody's like, "What's this?" And then everybody goes to the baseball game.
Oh, they're playing baseball. A ball just flew into my window, into my hut. Let me go deal with it.
Can you imagine?
Puerto Rico is like what's the it's like the Spartan program but for like baseball players. Like the Dominican Republic.
No, the whole entire Caribbean, bro. All of them. Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Cuba, fucking Grenada, Barbados, they all play baseball.
Yeah, even in the water. You know, people born in the water, like the sea creature, like the fucking mermen and shit. They're all just
fucking tritons come out the water, and they're like, "Hey, we're playing baseball," and they're like, "Sí, ven aquí," and then you go and you guys play baseball.
Is that how we're gonna make first contact with the sea creatures? They're gonna like come up, and then they look all intimidating, but they just challenge us to baseball.
It's like a really shitty, really uninteresting version of Space Jam.
And we win. We beat them down. We beat them to fucking pace.
We don't even win by a lot. We just beat them like by a technicality or something. It's like, you can't swim to the ball, idiot.
You guys lose now, and they're like, we lose. We'll be back in 2,000 years to try again. Go back in the water.
They come every 2,000 years.
Do you think?
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're like cicadas. They just hibernate for like a very specific amount of time. Do you think?
Like respectful.
Do you think that would be like, how much do you think that would fuck with you? Like the idea of like a civilization of people underwater that just sort of like made themselves, like, would that be worse than aliens?
No, they'd be technically Earthlings, so I could respect them.
Well, they
more.
are Earthlings if they're from the ocean.
Yeah, so I respect them more. How human-like are they?
I mean,
I'd feel disrespected. I feel disrespected that they're here and they just didn't say shit.
But that's not like I don't. This is coming from me, so like be prepared to be mind blown. But like, it's not really like they're underwater, living underwater. Like, they're not bothering us. In fact, we're only just extremely bothering them. So I'd be like,
well, that's kind of what we're saying, though. You know what I mean? Like, you should. Like, why haven't they? If someone's like being really loud or whatever in the apartment next door, you'd be like, you like knock on the door, you'd be like, hey guys, like, maybe
I wouldn't do that.
Maybe
shit.
chill.
I'd be like, yo.
Well, no. What people who used to live around us would do is they would call the fucking manager instead of just actually like coming to us and being like, "Hey, could you chill?"
I'll just be like, they're doing their thing right now. I'm gonna let them live because I get loud sometimes too, and I'm just like, hey, you do your thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if somebody filled your house with plastic, I don't think you'd be so fucking passive.
But they might be deep sea motherfuckers, like under the unders, where like only shit that's bioluminescent exists,
like Mariana's Trench.
It's like the depth.
What if they all had like they had human parts except for their heads were like all anglerfish? Like,
that would like fuck me. That would fuck me up. I would scream if I saw one.
But they're like really nice and stuff. They're like really
hey, I'm
gentle.
sorry. They're like, I even understand how we look compared to you. I don't want to hurt you, but if you keep yelling, it's gonna send me into a blood rage. So please stop yelling. And I would just keep screaming.
One of my favorite, my favorite videos on the internet are those videos of like people like poking cryptids that wash up on the shore, like genetic, those those genetic experiment videos of like, look at this mermaid that just washed up on shore.
Oh yeah,
and there's just a bloated Italian man that got thrown in a river.
Yeah,
that's not a mermaid. Yeah, that's Vinny Patron right there. He's dead.
Vinny Patron. That's just, this is all Italian made. The mob killed this man, and now we have a mermaid.
That's a bloated dog, bro. That's not a mermaid. That's a dog that got fucking waterlogged. It's been in the ocean for fucking 3 weeks.
Waterlogged?
And now it looks like a dolphin.
Yo, waterlogged is one of the most like fucking visceral words to me. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, you say that word and I immediately imagine like a bloated, like horrifying thing.
Is that what it's called? It's called waterlogged, and you get like bloated from being in the water.
Yeah.
Right?
It's what waterlogging is. Yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Your cells can burst if they absorb too much water. I forgot what it's called. If it's called inverteration or something like that. I learned about it in bio. It was like if you don't have enough water, your cells get really, really, really thin. But if you absorb way, way, way too much water, your cells just burst open. So that dog's body is that thing. It's just a thing. If you poke it with a stick, it'll bust open. It'll be clear. It won't have blood.
It freaked me out a lot when I learned that you could drown hours after like you were like out of the water and like fine. Like if you almost drowned or whatever and you had like water in your lungs or whatever and you got CPR and then you were fine, you could still drown like 4 hours later or some shit. That's why they push your chest to get you to eject all the water out your body. That is so fucking terrifying. That is like genuinely scary. That's
I didn't know you could drown your own blood when I was younger. I didn't know that was possible because I thought like for some reason
you thought people could breathe blood.
I thought your blood couldn't kill you. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought like your blood couldn't kill you when I was smaller. And I saw the movie Four Brothers. This is why I learned. I learned that it fucking Four Brothers, like fucking idiot Mark Wahlberg, a fucking Andre 3000, and some like white kid, another black guy. And I was just like, you could drown your own blood. Like I was like, when I heard that, I was just like, you're lying to me.
That's such child. That's such first grade logic. Your blood can't hurt you.
It's like I thought like Van Gogh would grow his ear back. I thought like your ear grew back. I was like, he cut his ear off, but his ear's gonna grow back. Duh. I've scraped my arm before and my fucking skin grew back. Like, what are you talking about? It might have a scar, I guess. Like that's how it happens. But like, it's gonna come back. It doesn't come back. Newsflash.
Yeah,
and if it does come back, you're special.
I've never thought anything that stupid.
You must have thought something stupid when you were a kid.
No, I definitely remember doing something really stupid as a kid. Or it was just a dumb idea where I was thinking, I wonder if I could pee for like a long time if I just pound water while I'm pissing. So I took in a bunch of cups of water with me, and then I realized quickly that it takes a while. It takes a while to filter.
You were such a simple kid. That's the most simplistic child thing ever.
That's not as simple.
Fucking ear was gonna grow back if I cut it off.
No, mine was just
crazy.
wrong, but yours is like simple, like not even like dumb or stupid, like very streamlined, simple. Like if I drink water, I pee, so I'm gonna drink a lot of water, so I keep peeing. Like that's just like a child trying to understand how the world works in its most simple form.
I remember I have a very vivid memory when I was like a little boy. Like I must have been like 3 or 4 or like probably even younger. But I remember seeing certain people and thinking that some people just didn't have ears. And I don't know why I thought that.
That makes sense though.
Because like I guess I saw people with like big hair or whatever, and it was just covering their ears. Like, oh, I guess those people don't have ears because I don't have object permanence. And like if something isn't in my direct field of vision, it's not real. But
the fact that we grow that eventually, like we don't exactly have it. Like the fact that we grow object permanence is terrifying because that's just like such a vital thing to being like a human being. And like other animals don't have it, and us growing it means they could probably eventually just like develop it too. And I feel like that's the big step toward like real evolution.
Do animals
understanding that?
Do animals not have object permanence?
I don't think they do.
I feel like they must.
Gets happy when you come back home.
I guess. What animals? I'm curious. Actually, have object permanence.
Maybe elephants and stuff.
Dogs, cats, and a few species of bird, like crows, jays, and ravens. Oh, that's such a shockingly small
I guess
list.
That makes sense.
I really thought it was a lot more than that. Like, I thought like a cow and had object permanence, but it was just too stupid to do anything with it because it's a fucking fat bitch of a creature. But
cows are important, bro. Cows are very important.
Oh yeah, no, we love yeah. Where would it be without them? We wouldn't have cool coats or dead things to eat.
Or even like they help the spread of forest, bro. They're like really important animals. I didn't believe that. I couldn't believe how important, like how necessary cows are to like not stopping like forestation and shit. I'm like, what?
Are chickens necessary,
Cows?
or are they just like here because we like them?
Maybe. I think they're here because you like them still.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that's most things. Like if we didn't like any animal on the planet, like it'd be gone.
No,
in like a
no.
year.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
because we exterminate animals by accident. It's like, whoops, there goes the blue toucan or whatever the fuck. Sorry. We didn't even have a problem with that one. But like it's gone. But mosquitoes, we all hate. We all fucking hate them, and we've actually like genuinely argued the ethical reasons why we should or should not destroy them, because we can. We have the capability to destroy mosquitoes.
Exactly.
But we
You have
haven't.
to destroy everything.
But
You
why
destroy anything?
But why haven't we
You destroy
destroyed
any-
mosquitoes? Really?
Because mosquitoes feed other things that help like have biodiversity. Like we need them for like other things to eat. Because like think of how many mosquitoes there are. Think of how many mosquitoes there are, right? Like I hate mosquitoes. I hate roaches. I hate those two things, right? Roaches we might not be able to get rid of. I think to get rid of roaches we have to get rid of ourselves as well.
Yeah, it's like
we'd have
it's
to
like the
do
flood.
We'd have to set the halo off and kill us also.
Yeah. No, no, you can't get rid of roaches because they eat matter.
Yeah, they eat anything.
They
it doesn't
eat
matter what it is.
Matter. Because I remember researching this when we had the roach problem in our old. We had an apartment in California that had like a roach problem, and I was researching. I was like, how the fuck do we get rid of these? And it's like, well, roaches feed on matter, and I was like, so dust and dead skin and other dead roaches. So it's like, the fuck do you do?
You gotta go hard. You gotta get rid of everything. You gotta really like, all right, well.
I feel like the
gone.
only
You just
way
Everybody needs to put on fucking gas masks for a day, and then we just gas the world.
The whole bitch.
gas the whole world.
Open everything up and just gas that bitch. Fuck the greenhouse effect. Just kill all of them. Dude.
No, because you know what happens? One of them survives, and he like has like a little adventure where it's all Pixar-y, and he like survives in a little bubble that was blown by a 2-year-old or whatever, and it's all cute. And then he gets out, and all of his friends are dead, and he just eats all of his friends, has a baby, and then like there it goes. Then now you have a million roaches again. They're that permanent of a creature, and
They're
can't
gonna persist.
stand that. That
I
pisses
feel like
me off.
they're gonna be when humans disappear. They're gonna evolve into the next intelligent species. I'm pretty sure
No,
it's gonna be them.
you're
It's
out of
gonna
your
be
mind.
them.
You're out of your
Because they
mind.
just persist, bro. I'm pretty sure they're like resilient to like radiation, which is like anatomically just insane that a creature that is alive and has carbon in its body can be resilient to radiation. That's just insane. That's just an insane. They're just like, hey, yeah, we show up and we run away. They're not even like aggressive animals either. They're just annoying. They just I think they have a bigger destiny. I think they do.
Oh my god.
Because like think of it like this, all right? They're not assholes like fire ants and bed bugs and shit. They're just gross and annoying.
Yeah.
But they just make it. They're like the Jewish of like the insects. They just can't be kept down. They're just gonna make it somehow. You can't beat them down. They're gonna do it.
That's a weird thing to say, but I
mean, the Jewish have had a colorful past, bro. They've been enslaved by every people that could enslave, man. And then they almost got exterminated, and they still bounce back, bro. They're tough, dude.
I don't know. I feel like this conversation, it's like you're talking about roaches, and then the next thing you're talking about is Jews. I just don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
I'm giving praise to both of them for the tenacity.
You sound like Ethan Ralph right now. I saw, by the way, I saw his name like coming up all over Twitter like recently, like not even because he did anything, but just because like I think he like tweeted. Do you know Augie? I don't know these people really, but like it was like these are like drama people. But I saw he like unloaded some like crazy text like. Insane flurry of text messages. I'm like, it's amazing how many people don't like him, but it's like it's not even in like a Keemstar way where it's like people don't like him, but he like exists as like an entertainment vessel. He just has no one in his corner ever. Like it's kind of astounding that somebody is that unlikable. That no one
I'll just say that it's astounding that he has like after all this shit that he's done or whatever, he still has an audience. Like
he's like a roach, man. He's like a roach.
Yeah,
he persists, bro. He persists in a way that other people just don't. Like
you gotta
evil.
Respect that a little bit.
He's evil. Like he's a bad. Ethan Ralph's a bad guy. I'll just go as far to say that. I don't care if people get mad at me.
No one's gonna get mad at you.
This motherfucker just be around, and like, no one's been like, "Yo, we got to take this guy out."
No one's gonna get mad at you. You're fine.
I just found because you just said that you saw that name trending, and so I just had to put it in to see if anything popped up, and somebody made a video on the 23rd. About the fall of internet blood sports, and it has
right.
him in it. It's Ethan and the fall of internet blood sports, and I'm like, all right, I'm saving this shit. I watched. Oh wait, holy shit! It's 3 hours. It's fucking. What the hell is wrong with people,
dude? Every video.
Why do they make these fucking videos so long?
Every video is 3 hours now.
Involving him, it's always a long ass video because you're always like, yo, what other escapades has he been on?
I had a lot of
dude, Ethan Ralph is like the Thanos of the internet, and we just haven't dealt with him yet. Like he's just a bad guy.
I wouldn't put it that far. He's not that powerful, really.
He's not powerful, but he's a problem. He's just a problem out there that's just like swimming, and no one's been like, yeah, you know, he's not over here yet. Let him do his thing.
I wouldn't pay him that much of a compliment. I do think I got into like a whole thing like a couple weeks ago because I like made fun of like some videos that were like 7 hours long or whatever. And people were like, oh, it's real hard to make 7 hour long videos. And it's like, yeah, I know. But
what
like,
is that, like,
it's just like, it's more of a matter of like, why? Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's exactly it. Just why?
You know what it is? It's probably the difference in the way that people consume content now. Because when I was a kid and like watching YouTube a lot, I didn't have YouTube on in like the background or like in my car or like I didn't like leave it on in the background while I was doing other shit. I was actually like sitting and like watching things that I was excited to watch, or like, oh, here's a person that I like and respect. I'm going to sit down and watch it like a show. But like now I feel like a lot of people, not even necessarily this is a bad thing. It's just that now I think it's a little bit more like I'll watch something, but I kind of won't really watch it. I'll have it on in the background. So the longer, the better, because it means I have to change the channel less.
But that's why there's 2 billion podcasts out there, and that's why I thought podcasts were for. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was falling, where it's like, I like a podcast. I have no problem with long form. You want to make like a 7 hour fucking podcast, that's fine. But like to me, it's like if you're editing a video where there's like things on screen that you have to see, and like, you know, everything on screen has a purpose. I don't know if I would make a 7 hour video for the sheer purpose of I know that the majority of people are just not going to see like half of the shit that's on screen right now. They're just going to like put it on the background anyway. It's almost like there doesn't even need to be a video portion to it, which is like fine because that's kind of what we're doing like now. Like the Snark Tank isn't a video. Like we have a video component because like people respond well to it and people like it. But I'll tell you right now, it was a lot easier to not have a video component.
Yeah,
it was like
easier.
It was hilariously easy to just make audio and just send it out. I didn't have to like get the lighting ready or like make sure my webcam was working and all that shit.
Yep.
The video component to this podcast is largely seasoning. It's not like what the content is, unless you want to, unless you want to watch fucking Kingston and Derek become nightmare creatures at the end while I'm reading the credits.
That's a huge draw to this podcast.
Yeah, the nightmare the nightmare sequence at the end.
Yeah.
The color black Kingston, I love it. I love that version of me.
It is astounding that you're able to just become a racist caricature with very minimal editing.
I love it, dude.
I love it, dude.
I love how I wonder if the first non-black people that saw black people, that's what they saw. They saw night creatures and they were like, oh, I'm afraid of this. Obviously, this is terrible. That's nighttime, but a person.
That's it's so stupid. You're such a fucking idiot.
What do you mean? You're telling me that's not scary. You look at a person doing blackface and tell me that shit's not scary.
I mean, it's concerning, I would say.
It's scary because nothing looks like that. I'm pretty sure if someone in blackface showed up to an African village, they'd be like, what is that?
But I feel like
that is terrifying.
No, but I understand, but I feel like you would say the same thing about, I mean, white people are afraid of clowns, and they're just extreme white face.
Extreme white face.
Good point.
Yeah, like
white face.
Any extreme variants of that where it's like somebody like wearing like a hilarious amount of makeup to the point where they're almost a different creature. Yeah, it's fucking freaky. Like I remember being afraid of clowns when I was a kid. I remember like not even like in an It way where like I didn't look at it like, oh, I'm terrified of that, or like, oh, Ronald McDonald scares me. It was more like, haha, clowns, they're fiction. And then, like, you'd be walking through Central Park, and then you'd see a real clown handing out, like, balloons and shit. And that...
I don't know why, but every time...
that was too much for me. That was too much for me for some reason, just seeing a clown in the wild.
For some reason, whenever you see a clown, anyone who's scared of clowns, that clown instantly knows. And they're just like, I'm going to bother you. And they just come at you. You're like, what the fuck?
They run up to you and they skip frames.
The same things happen to me. The same things happen to me where I've just been walking through places. I really don't like clowns. I don't like them. I have a huge problem with clowns. I don't like their fucking stupid hair. I don't like their dumbass clothes and their big ass shoes. I hate them. They make me want to fucking scream. And there was one time where I was just at a fucking one of the fucking scare places, like I think it was Universal Studios, and I don't know how this clown just knew. I kept it cool as a cucumber, and this motherfucker decided to run right at me. I'm huge. That's not smart to run at me. And this motherfucker just came at me, and I was just like, I'm scared. I'm scared now. I'm panicking. This clown smells my fear, and now it's trying to invade me.
They can see.
I hate that. They just know.
They do feed off of fear. I think it's because I don't have a problem with clowns, and they never fuck with me. So I think you just confirmed it.
Yeah,
I wasn't even acting scared. Like I don't emote.
They
much,
fucking smell it.
Yeah, they can. They can, because I remember being a little kid and seeing that clown making balloons in Central Park, and then like my aunt like walked me by it, and it immediately was like handed me a balloon, and I was like, I wasn't even scared. I didn't cry, but I got real mad. Like I had like a real mad expression on my face, like I'm fucking. And then my aunt tore me away from the fucking clown. But like I can't abide by a clown. Like I can't
give him rights. I
can't support it. It's just
if you choose to become a clown, you shouldn't be able to vote. You shouldn't be able to vote. You shouldn't be able to buy property.
So you shouldn't be able to buy property. So is clown college a thing actually?
I think so.
You know what I mean?
I think it's just clown school.
Probably because you gotta
college.
go. You gotta. Yeah, it's not. It's There's definitely. It's like some vocation. Like it's got to be some type of vocation because how else would you learn how to do that dumb shit?
How else would you learn how to be a fucking idiot?
How would you feel? Hold on, Kingston. This is a real question, a genuine question. How would you feel? You and Lily, you have your fake girlfriend. You have a real kid somehow. Let's pretend that's possible. You grow up. You buy a house. You have two beautiful children. And as they're growing up, one of them decides, Kingston, I'm going to go to clown college because I feel really passionate about the clowning arts. How do you respond?
I would start screaming. I would start fucking screaming and yelling. And I wouldn't yell at him. I would yell at Lily because that's in her gene pool. That had to be in her gene pool. Now part of me is gonna become a clown. A portion of my blood is gonna be connected to clowns. And I'm gonna throw shit and I'm gonna scream at her. I'm not gonna put my hands on her. But I'll put my hands near her.
I really
I'll put my hands near her.
I really can't believe clown college feels like a fake thing, but like I'm at this website, the clown
That's
school,
real, dude.
theclownschool.com. It's got
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
But I understand it has to be, but at the same time, I'm shocked that it is because can't you just? It feels like you could just like get the costume and just be a clown. Like I don't know. Is there like a clown agency? Is there
it's
like
not quite that simple, but it's.
I think it's like you can.
Is there like
do
a
that.
Screen Actors Guild for clowns?
No, I think so. I think so because like I think
there's
it's
definitely like a
because I think
clown,
you
like a
can be
clown
an independent clown, but the thing is you're probably not gonna get fucking work because you're probably not trusted.
A SoundCloud clown.
Yeah, it's like a barber, right? Like you can get homie haircuts, you can get homie tattoos, or you can go to the shops. You can go. It's probably like that. You can go. You know what I mean? Like there's levels to that shit.
You could be an independent clown. I'm an independent clown.
Yeah, but you don't fuck with those people because they're the John Wayne Gacy's. Like you don't fuck with those people.
Those are the kind of motherfuckers that would actually kill you.
Yeah, like you at least try to get like a vetted clown. I wouldn't even want to like fuck clowns, dude. Like I want Spider-Man. I want a Spider-Man with Tim's. That's what I want to get for my kid's birthday.
Spider cut.
Like, I want a Spider-Man with fucking Tim's to show up.
I've been at so many of those parties, and those parties never end well, man.
What do you mean? What parties?
Something stupid happens.
Well,
usually.
like one of the ghetto parties where you get like fucking or Homie the Clown. Not Homie the Clown. What's the name of Dr. Magic or Dr. Have you ever seen those commercials? Uncle Magic.
Uncle Magic.
That's the most New York shit ever. That is the most New York thing ever. Uncle
oh
Magic.
My
but
God,
like,
I forgot.
like,
everybody,
I have no idea what you're talking
everybody,
about.
look up Uncle Magic
Uncle
when
Magic.
you can
It's
because
fucking the crazy thing. But you always get like the Uncle Magic or like this fucking Spider-Man or Disney and Mickey. And it's always these ghetto ass motherfuckers that come to these kid parties smoking like fucking Newports and Black and Milds and shit like that. And they be doing like ghetto ass dances and they be fucking boxing the little kids. And I'm like, yo, why the fuck do they keep getting these motherfuckers?
Yo, I totally fucking forgot about Uncle Magic. What you just said.
Uncle Magic, his fucking hat.
Dude,
what
I'm
the
telling
fuck
you,
is
man.
this shit,
Every
dude?
time, bro. Every time, dude. I've been to so many of those parties and I'm like, I hate this. I hate this. Why is this real?
This guy sounds like my cousin William too, which is like the funniest.
Hiphopmagician.com.
Yeah, hiphopmagician.com comes for kids. Child, one of my favorite things, like you know how like these commercials have like the little like scrolling text along, almost like news, like how like the bottom of the news would like. They'd be talking about like, did Britney Spears shave her head? And in the bottom, it would have like a ticker tape being like 10 people dead in fucking, high school.
Yeah.
It's like this Uncle Magic commercial is awesome because it just says child parties, which is like the weirdest way to phrase that. Birthday parties, special events, Uncle Magic, the hip hop magician. I hope he's okay.
This clown is fucking... Like they're shitting on traditional clowns and it's fucking seizuring. It's like, are you tired of this bullshit? And the clown's going like this in the fucking commercial. Like it's called Uncle Magic Commercial 2017 and the clown is fucking seizuring.
2017?
Yeah. Because it's a Looks like a.
It's like a shivering clown.
Yeah.
There's a 2017 version.
It's a
Yes,
2017
Uncle
one.
Magic commercial 2017.
It's
And
like
the fucking clown is fucking.
he's like subtly vibrating. It's just some generic white man, but it's some generic white man clown.
Uncle Magic's still alive? I thought he would. Oh, why is he jittering?
It's like the equivalent of when they do the grayscale of like the bad thing you're supposed to, that's like, don't do that, you stupid bitch, get this. Like,
Are you tired of tripping over your own dumb jeans? And it just shows some guy fumbling a fucking pancake flip in the most inconceivable way possible. Just lands on his newborn baby and melts his face. Like, I can't believe there's a 2017.
I hate that it's a 2017 update. Like, god damn, dude.
It's wide. It's so baffling to see this commercial for the Hip Hop Magician in not only widescreen but 1080p.
Dude,
this is
I
so
love
weird.
the editing
dude.
because it's every generic it's just every generic like default effect that you can use.
Yeah,
like everything, the transitions.
I hated that. I've never had Uncle Magic at my house. My aunt was like, "We can get you Uncle Magic." I was like, "I'm 16. I'd rather nothing. Just don't get me anything. Just why would you get me that?" And oh my dude, that's why I hate birthday parties, because I'd rather not have anything than have something terrible. But parents don't understand. He has the app.
Download the Hip Hop Magician app, bro. This is amazing. Do you think we can get Uncle Magic on the show as a guest?
Yo, that's possible.
After we've just made fun of his entire life.
Let's find him.
He needs publicity. I'm gonna contact him. Let me see if he has a Twitter.
Hip Hop Magician. I mean, he probably has his contacts there.
Uncle Magic and Shock Kim the Clown.
Yeah, Shock Kim the Clown.
I'm losing my shit. Shock Kim.
Is that like Rock Him and Static Shock mixed together? I don't understand.
Probably, yeah, honestly.
That actually would be pretty dope.
Uncle Magic.
Oh my god.
He has a Twitter.
I love how it's spelled incorrectly too. Uncle Magic with a J. This is
actually making me nauseous, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not feeling good.
Imagine growing up around. Imagine seeing this man every so often on your television set for years, to the point where he's just a part of the family sometimes. Like,
he was a regular thing. You'd see Uncle Magic so often, you'd be like, "Oh, this is Uncle Magic. He's just back." You know.
There's a comment under this 2017 version from 4 years ago. It's like, he's still in business.
I saw somebody said like his dad like laughed at him for wanting to get this as a kid. He's like, he laughed at me so hard. Like, it's a
very New York thing, Uncle Magic. And I was just like, oh man, I hate this. My niece wanted it, and I was like, Brianna, if you get Uncle Magic, you're gonna have a terrible birthday. Nothing good's gonna happen.
Uncle Tragic.
Uncle Tragic. Uncle
Tragic. Oh my
we gotta get Uncle Magic on.
Travis Scott had Uncle Tragic at his concert, and that's why everything got so bad.
Yeah,
it all links back.
If honestly, for real, if Travis Scott had Uncle Magic and Shock Him the Clown there to kind of like raise spirits, like, I don't think you would have seen, mediate.
Like keep people calm, you know.
Give people snow
popcorn, cones, the cotton candy, the snow cones. He would be like, you know what, we're probably getting a little too out of hand. Let's calm down. But
pick that man up off the ground, please. Man, this really is a blast from the past. I'm in a lot of pain though, because this made me smile so much that I forgot that I have a fucking ear infection. And it's like, it's one of these ear infections that like, it hurts to move my jaw too much. Which is like, I didn't know that was possible. Like, it's been a long time since I've had an ear infection. I must have been like maybe 6.
You got a deep one. That's like inner ear shit.
It's an inner ear. It's a rough one. I'm taking like all these like antibiotics. It's. I was eating a bacon, egg, and cheese, like one of the softest sandwiches. It was like a small one too, just like from like a bodega. It wasn't even like a big deal. And the agony was wild. I forgot what it was like. I don't think I've ever had an inner ear infection in my life. Because I think I would have remembered this.
You got to get better at what you're doing, man. Everything and every way. Let's heal faster, bro.
I don't know how to do that, really.
I get ear infections. I
don't get ear infections.
My sinuses are the fucking worst. I don't know what happened. They just out of nowhere fucking switch flipped, and then I'm fucked up like at least once a month for whatever reason.
That was me for a long time with like skin problems, because for years I had like fucking this nice skin. Like I don't have blemishes very often. I don't have like, my skin has always been sort of dry, but like I was always fine. Then like in 2013, you were around, Chris, when this happened. My fucking skin started melting and like oozing. Like literally, like I didn't know I had
AIDS?
eczema.
Oh, eczema. Yeah, gotcha.
Eczema. And then what happened was I put on something, and I guess it gave me chemical burn or some shit. And my skin started peeling off and leaking. I had paper towels on my arm because my skin was leaking. This is not fake. This is not real. Chris can justify its existence.
So I never saw this, but everybody would
you were
laugh.
there when we went to Hudson Buffet. We got sushi. No, we went to Sushi Village, and you were there. And you were like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with your skin? This is years. It's like 10 years ago.
I don't,
like, dude, your skin is leaking.
I don't remember that, because what I remember is regretting that I never saw it, because I would just hear about it from like Jalen and our other friends. Like, oh, remember that time Kingston's skin ran away from him? Or remember that time Kingston became a fucking swamp creature? And I was like, damn, I'm so sad. I remember being sad that I didn't see it, because I thought that was so funny. I never saw it.
It was so gross. It was so gross. And I remember like for a year, I was at the lowest of my low. Like I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and then that happened. So I felt like the most undesirable human, period. I was like, that's it. I'm off myself. I can't do this. I can't be that ugly. And all of a sudden, dude, literally like 4 months, and then maybe like late summer. I started early summer, late summer. I just like remember there was a point where like the skin under it healed, so I had to wipe this fucking like damaged skin off. And since then, my skin's been perfect.
Well, there you go.
Like flawless skin. And I was like, I don't know what happened.
My skin's definitely been getting worse lately. It's just getting older. It sucks. It's terrible.
You're back to being a dry area. That's what happened, dude. You're back to being like an area where it's like the weather changes proper. So your skin's gonna go through it again.
Yeah, probably.
Because in Cali, it's just dry.
The older
so
shit though, it still fucks you up though, man. Like I never used to, because I would see people with all these those foot stone things, and they would have to like scrub their feet and all that shit, to keep it all like keep their foot groomed, because the people's feet would get like really dry. I never understood. I was like, what? I've never. But now, like, I bought one a couple months ago, because I mean now I'm in an insanely dry climate, but even before, I was still noticed that like on my feet. I was like, what the fuck? Like my feet look dry, like on the heels. And I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like I never used to worry about. It was weird, but like, cause you'll see some old people that don't give a fuck, and their feet look
be
like
white, bro.
Bro, did you
like
see
dusty.
fucking
like my feet are
KD's?
dusty, bro.
Did you see KD's legs?
Yeah,
did you see
bad.
his fucking ashy legs?
They're bad, bro.
Bad is an understatement.
They're
that is
bad,
a fucking.
bro.
That is an
KD?
understatement. Kevin Durant. Go put in Kevin Durant ashy and look it up. A little bit of his leg is exposed, and it's like, dude, you're dead. He's mummified. He's exhumed. Like he doesn't look like there's any fucking moisture in him. It's crazy.
It's bad.
Oh my god, it looks like oh my god, it looks like the like a drone shot of a desert. That's wild. What the hell happened to him?
He's so rich too. That's what
He's
makes
so
it even worse.
Dude, his fucking like in like a 5-year contract for him is like almost $300 million. Like he's so rich. He's so fucking rich, and he's like, dude, do you not know what lotion is? Like this is insane.
You don't got time, bro.
What do you like? He doesn't have to do it.
Bro.
He literally could pay someone to lube him up.
That is crazy. He looks. That is so crazy. That's not even ashy. That's cracked. He looks like a crystal-based boss that just got defeated, and he's cracking, and he's about to explode. Like that is.
He don't got time, bro. He don't got time. That's what it is.
He looks like a stained glass demon.
He's too busy. Dude, he's too busy not winning championships, bro. He don't got time. He don't got time.
Like literally, that's rhino skin. Like it's
have
like
to moisturize, dude. People don't understand that. Like people don't do it, and they don't understand how much of a problem it is. You have to moisturize because when you get old, when you hit past a certain point, your skin is gonna start getting fucked up, and it's gonna be too late. You gotta moisturize.
But
That's
here's
why
the thing.
I use lotion all the time. You see my face? It's my skin is gonna be tight like this, hopefully until I'm at least 38, and then I don't mind after that.
Yeah, I use cocoa butter, and it served me very well.
This is my go-to, dude. Aveeno.
This is the most elderly conversation I think I've ever had.
Yeah,
Keeps my skin tight, bro. Trust me, dude. Trust me. You want to be beautiful for a long time, man.
I would recommend to my light skin brethren that you should use some cocoa butter, and
You're not a light skin nigga. You a medium tone nigga.
I'm telling, because light skin people don't know this. What I'm saying is
that's true.
They don't know about cocoa butter, and I'm telling you,
and that's why they age poorly. That's true. Actually,
I'm telling you, the cocoa butter. Not only does it smell fucking incredible, like you'll get compliments wherever you go. When women touch your skin, they're jealous. And I'm not even trying to do that because I honestly don't give a fuck about smooth skin. But since I use cocoa butter, like everyone's like, God damn, your skin's so soft. I'm like, I guess. So I just know that cocoa butter is a shit, man. It smells fucking great too. It smells so good.
My recommendation here is don't drink water ever, not once.
Yeah,
for the rest of your life.
Period.
Just
nothing but
water.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing but soda and coffee.
No, soda, coffee, and beer, bro. Just beer. Just beer all the time. No, it's alcohol. It's fucking vodka and soda. That's it.
I'm gonna get a tattoo soon, and I was realizing that like I probably shouldn't be. Well, I'm on antibiotics anyway, so I can't drink anyway. It's almost my birthday. I'm getting a tattoo, and I realize like fuck, I'm not gonna be able to drink for my birthday because I want to get my tattoo. I'm gonna be on antibiotics, and alcohol is just gonna fuck with my tattoo. Because doesn't that fuck with it? Like I feel like it thins your blood, right? It makes you bleed a little bit.
No, all it is it doesn't fuck with your tattoo. It just makes a possible that you could just bleed a lot more, which is annoying to the artist. That's not an actual concern.
Yeah, it's not enough for me to drink though.
Yeah, it's not like, say, for example...
do you properly bleed when you get a tattoo? Do you bleed actually?
It depends on, like, where, especially. Like, in some, you'll bleed more than other places. But, yeah, you definitely bleed. Because you're getting stabbed a bunch of times. You're getting stabbed a bunch by needles.
They have to wipe the blood off. And then, like, you put the seal on, and then sometimes that bleeds a little bit, and you have to replace the seal, and, like, it's a whole process.
The most I ever bled was this fucking barbed rose thing. Like, when I wrapped it up, there was, like... a proper amount of, but I had a few beers. Like I didn't get drunk, but I probably had like 2 or 3 beers. So I think it just helped it bleed a little bit more, but that was the most that I ever bled. Also the dude was a little heavy handed. So, but yeah, I wouldn't like worry about that. Just, it's usually for the artist's request. If they're like certain things to, they don't want you to do, like, don't get fucked up. Don't be too high. Don't be too whatever,
Yeah. So what's happened in the last, well, right now, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial is happening. The whole Epstein thing. And
Ghislaine Maxwell, I mean, just whatever her name is.
Oh my God, you're such a fucking terrible person.
Big tits lane.
It bothers the hell out of me that this isn't like a televised thing. Like,
of course not.
I know, I understand why. But like it's still disheartening. Did you see all the CEOs that were like resigning recently? By the way, like really poor timing. Like,
really?
Yeah, like Jack stepped down from Twitter or whatever, and like I think like a bunch of other CEOs stepped down like suspiciously in the last few days. It's like I don't think there's. By the way, I don't even necessarily think there's anything connected. I just think it's like really unfortunate timing. But you'd think that, I don't know, if you're like a high profile like celebrity or like a high profile like owner of a company, like a CEO. You'd at least stick it out until after the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, just for the sake of, I don't know.
I refuse.
I just like that's such terrible timing.
I just think, oh my God, I just sorry. So I just went on Twitter and I was trying to see what was trending or whatever, and fucking, of course, Meat Canyon just released probably the most disturbing Mr. Beast fucking photo I've ever seen.
Classic.
Oh my god.
Leave it to Hunter, bro, to just show me some shit that I'm not. Oh my god.
I wasn't ready for that one. I don't even remember what I was. You were talking about Twitter or something.
I love how that's so. I love how it's so clearly Mr. Beast.
Yeah, like the face of this stupid fucking mustache. That's what really.
He really nailed it. That's actually like so. That's such a hard skill. I feel like to do like proper caricature, like making something that stupid looking and still having it be like as recognizable to the person. as it is.
Yeah. Because immediately I was like, "Oh, it's fucking Mr. Beast."
He is really good.
Doesn't even have the stupid hat on or anything. Is Mr. Beast bald?
I don't think so.
He always has a hat on.
He has hair.
I think he has
I
hair.
just never.
For the first time
I've never
ever, I watched one of his videos. Actually, for the first time ever, I actually consumed one of his videos. He did the whole Squid Games thing.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
didn't even
thing.
watch it.
I watched it and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It's actually not bad. And it's like, that's a ton of fucking work that went into that. I was like, holy shit, dude, he actually did that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, you know, Jeff Bezos really did. Like, I mean, like, You know, look, here's the thing. What I'm saying is, look, I don't have a problem.
I totally agree.
I don't have a problem with Mr. Beast. I don't really know his content. I haven't watched it. I have like literally no opinion of him at all. Like, cool, he did a Squid Game thing. It was very impressive, and I'm sure he paid a lot of really talented people to get that done. But I don't know. Like, I'm not all that impressed when a really rich person just pays a lot of talented people to do a thing. And if I am impressed, it's never because of the person who paid. You know what I mean? It's more like, wow, that really is impressive that they managed to recreate that whole fucking room or whatever to scale.
But
that's
he
the
didn't do
vibe
anything.
I was on. I'm not saying that Mr. Beast is like, man, I'm gonna build this, and he fucking Amished it up. You know? He just,
yeah.
It's impressive that thing was even made. It's like, whoa, people really did put this together.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool. Like, but I think because like I got a couple of his fans like got on my case recently because I tweeted this. There was this ridiculous thing that I saw, like some random. I don't even know who the fucking. I'm scrolling through my timeline now so I can like find what exactly.
What was the guy that's sucking his dick? Are you talking about that?
Well,
that
it was just really confusing because it wasn't even about the dick sucking. Oh, did he delete it?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He deleted that tweet.
Oh, really?
Some guy was sucking his own dick.
Well, because he wasn't sucking his own dick. He was just kind of like it was kind of like it was. He was kind of. It wasn't just Mr. Beast. It was just like it was kind of gloating about how glorious fucking just content the creators are and like what they're capable of.
So
go ahead.
So I found it. He did delete it. It's gone. But it's just this random guy. Every vowel is his Twitter handle. Now, I'm not saying that you should go harass him or whatever. I'm just like just for clarity. I don't want anybody doing stupid shit. But he's like, Mr. Beast's Squid Game video got 103 million views in 4 days. It took 7 weeks to make. Netflix Squid Game series got 111 million views in 30 days. It took 10 years to make. More views, less time, fewer gatekeepers. That's the promise of the creator economy. So it was
Shut
which
up.
is like fucking insane.
Shut up.
Because
that's so crazy. That's
it wasn't like I was making fun of this tweet. I wasn't making fun of Mr. Beast. If Mr. Beast like retweeted this, it was like, yeah, I'd be like, come on, dude, like give yourself a fucking break. But I don't think that's what happened. I think it's just this idiot who's like just kind of like being stupid on Mr. Beast's behalf.
Yeah.
And it was just like the idea that you would think that and not understand how wrong you are immediately as you're typing is baffling to me. Because the Lord of the
Rings cast 25 minutes. It took these people on Newgrounds 25 minutes to make a Lord of the Rings movie with 400 million views. Lord of the Rings trilogy only got 15 years to film. It's like, bro, it's a completely different beast.
Yeah, it's the difference.
Animals.
It's the difference between, and some of the defenses I saw were ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't call it a copy of Squid Game because he actually did it. I was like, the fuck?
What does that mean?
Exactly.
He called it Squid Games. He even said it himself.
Yeah,
in the video, he's like, I take huge inspiration from the people that made it.
Of course, it's based on the thing.
It
Mr.
literally
Beast
would not exist.
Mr. Beast knows that. Like, he's not an idiot. Like he
Yeah, he's not
understands.
saying
Like
he's
that.
not stupid.
Like he's not the one making this claim. It's just some random dude. But like the idea that you would be like, oh, 103 million views in 4 days on a 25-minute video that is free to view versus 111 million views in a month on a show that is 10 episodes long. The idea that he thinks that that makes the video more impressive than the show is insane because people are paying to see Squid Game. You know, like there's a paywall.
Yeah, first of all, there's subscriptions.
Yeah,
Like subscriptions is a fucking big difference.
If people were paying to watch, if people paid a subscription to watch Mr. Beast's video and it got 103 million views in 4 days, that's crazy. That's awesome. Absolutely brag about that.
Yeah.
But like, it's on a free video platform and it's based on one of the most popular shows in recent memory. Of course, it's going to get a lot of views. Like, it's
that's
so,
the whole thing.
It blew my mind to see this take because I couldn't understand like the brain that came up with it.
What happens is there's the cultish mentality. That's what I've realized since 2016 of being on the internet is that people latch on to these personalities that people have in a ridiculous way that it just helps people bend logic around. Like it bends reality around their mind. So the way they intake information is like I realized it with the whole David Dobrik thing, the Shane Dawson shit, the Jerry Charles stuff. They just, even the Logan Paul and Jake Paul shit, and even the fucking presidency shit. Like, the people on the internet, they have to have the vast majority of them, or a good portion of them, have to have some sort of learning disability where they can't objectify information that they're absorbing. So they always just say wild shit. Like, there's just the amount of, the lack thereof of logic is wild. Where people are like, oh, this creator did this, and it puts it above everything else. Like, for me, this is something I say all the time, and people get mad at me. I don't think the rapper Juice WRLD was anywhere near as talented as people say he was. But his fan base say some of the most unbelievable shit about him, and it blows my mind. Because it's just, as a fan, they arm themselves with ignorance and they run into battle.
Well,
with
it's just people being like super like. I mean, that was a thing before the internet too. I mean, like like there are people who like, you know, they would.
It's a different beast now, though.
It is a different beast now because there's a more parasocial aspect.
I think we can fucking also see it all the time.
Yeah,
where you kind of, it's always in your fucking face. Like this guy. If it weren't for the internet, his dumbass take wouldn't be anywhere. It would be within him and maybe his brother or something. And his brother would tell him to shut the fuck up. It's weird because that guy, I wouldn't expect this type of take from him. I would expect it from like a 12-year-old Mr. Beast fan.
Right,
and then
right.
He'd be like, shut up, you dumb kid. Like, you obviously don't know what you're talking about. You haven't thought past that your initial, like, oh, I love Mr. Beast. He's smashing the Squid Game type of mentality. So that's the weirdest thing about it, because you would expect the Mr. Beast fanboys to say this.
People just get weirdly defensive. I'm noticing this a lot lately. Like, people are weirdly defensive on the internet in general now in a way that I don't think I've seen really before. Because, like, literally earlier today, like, Elvis Alien made a video on Black Widow, the Marvel movie. And... I just replied to his tweet. It was like, oh, that's funny because like I saw this movie recently on a plane with no sound and I listened to Daft Punk the whole time. So I just thought it was like amusing that like he had just decided to put the video out and I watched it and it was a good video. And then somebody was like, oh, I understand why you can't appreciate games like The Last of Us now because you can't pay attention to something without loud noise distracting. I was like, what the fuck is this? Where's this? I wasn't even talking about the movie's like quality. I was just being like there was no sound on the plane. Like, what's going on?
It was a statement, and somehow people took it.
It's just one. This isn't like rampant, by the way. This is like just every so often you'll find like these like weird like defensive takes, and you're just like confused because it's like there are days when I try to provoke people, and they don't bite. You know, like there are days where I'm like out there and I'm trying to rustle some people and it doesn't work. And I'm like, all right, cool. Fair enough. People are chill. And then like completely innocuous statement. I saw this movie on a plane and then suddenly it's about The Last of Us. I don't know.
I mean,
you're expecting intelligence from people who aren't intelligent.
I'm just
That's the thing.
expecting.
I mean, you're just expecting like not these out of nowhere takes where it's like, dude, where did you brought this, you interjected this into it. You're projecting some shit that I had nothing to do with, man. Like,
Yeah,
dude, there was. I didn't mention it on the one of the episodes we did, but I was like shitting on some of the viewers that were commenting some wild shit, like the one that was trying to say fucking fruit doesn't have fat, where I'm like, you clearly, if you rub your brain cells together, you know what I was saying, that fruit makes you fat because the sugar turns into fat, right? Like shit like that, or somebody said something that like I always project my insecurities into the show, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? When have I done this? The only time I actually even talked about anything insecure was when Shu was on. She was on, we had as a guest, and I just mentioned like body dysmorphia. But like anything else, all we're doing is bullshitting. And I'm like, you're taking something that it's like you're putting it onto me or onto somebody else. Like I always wonder, like, where does your mind, how do you get there? How do you get from point A to point B? Because I'm like, I'm not insecure about anything other than that. So what could this person possibly be talking about? Like I'm curious about it.
Yeah. It's almost like the exact thing that he's talking about is, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like I'm insecure about this thing that he isn't. So I perceive it as an insecurity on his behalf. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't want to talk about like
easily
individuals that I don't know anything about, but
I get that
but
easily,
it's just
understanding that like they're not real people. Like I don't know, like people that comment on like stuff, like people
What?
people that take the time to angry comment blow my mind. Like that just blows my mind as a creature. I've been on the internet for like since like roughly the beginning, you know, and I've been like I haven't been super active, but I've just been on the internet most of my life. And what confuses me is that like when I don't like something or I don't care about something or somebody says something stupid, I'm like, I disagree with that. But then I watch ABBA and Preach, right?
What's that?
I watch them. They're like two Canadian.
Oh, I know those niggas, right?
Yeah. I think those niggas are wrong a lot. Like I think they're wrong.
They're wrong probably about 89% of the time.
I give them a solid like 60% of the time they are wrong. They do not know what they're talking about. They have their Canadian perspective of like the world and they just say dumb shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. But I don't like to the comments I go, that's really stupid. I can't believe it. It's just like, how do you do that? How do you do that?
I don't know. I've definitely left comments before where I'm not like, I've never left like,
never, bro.
Like screaming all caps, but I've definitely left comments on videos that are like, this is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen. Like,
never, bro.
Not recently. Like I did this more when I was like a kid, but like
being a kid is excusable.
Right.
But I leave comments about like shit that's cool. Like I leave like someone like makes a video about like something involving D&D, and I'm like, yo, that's pretty sick. But wouldn't it be sick if this was something?
I remember like back in the day, especially when I first started, really like, and I would see videos that were kind of like talking about things that I cared about in like a way that was like really misguided. And I remember writing like some comments being like, it's astounding that you've missed the point so deeply, or like things like that. I would never like scream in all caps or whatever, because that's like insane shit. But that was a long time ago. Like it's really strange to imagine, like if I see somebody commenting like hate comments or like replying to people's tweets with like hate, you know what I mean? Like arbitrary hate, like not like it's a joke or not like it's like a meme, but like just really like vicious shit, and they're over 20. It's like a really like, ooh, that's a confusing person.
Like you all right,
there's turmoil and there's conflict in their life, man. Cause I just, the way that I grew up, that was something that I didn't like to do either. The only time, and this was well over a decade ago, I wouldn't respond to the person making a video. It would be somebody saying some really ignorant shit in the comment section. And this person's like looking for something, and I'm like, all right, I'll bite. You know, but I'll let them know that I'm like, I'm biting because I understand you're fishing, and I will bite because I want to, like, I want to smack you down if I can. I don't have time for that shit anymore, and like say people like here's a great example of something that happened the other day. So on my music channel, I made a reaction to the Kid Rock music video. And the title is very thought provoking, or as provoking. It says the video is top tier cringe, because it is. It's top tier.
It's objectively.
So
it's objectively.
Kid Rock has a lot of fans, so a lot of his fans watched it and they were pissed off. And there was some like fucking redneck dude that does reactions that saw it, and he was just like, I didn't even see this, but my girl, she was like, yo, some fucking backwoods redneck dude called me a nigga. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, walk me through this. I was like, walk me through this. So then she said she responded to a comment on that, which I was like, why the fuck are you doing that anyway?
Yeah,
she basically was just saying,
that's
all
how
she
Lily
said
is
was,
too. Lily will throw hands on someone virtually.
yeah, she kind of was going to bag. I guess she felt a little bit offended on my half, because the guy was just saying like, he was saying I was being like, I was being biased, and I was like, no shit, this is a review. What are you talking about? Like, this is not. What am I supposed to do? Like, I don't like this. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, and then he said something. I skimmed through it a little bit. It was a paragraph, something about doing research, or that's where my eyes glazed over. So I was like, I'm good. Whenever someone says do your research, you already know. I know where this is going. So, but anyway, she responded saying, if you don't like it, like, why don't you just like don't watch it? Like, it's as simple as that. Because that's what I do. Literally, I don't comment negative shit. I'm just like, oh, I don't like this, and then I leave. If something's really bad, I'll take a screenshot and
I have to see that video of that dude.
So I hope you can find the comment, because when I was scrolling through it, because she took a screenshot of it, and I was scrolling through, I didn't see it right away. I was probably scrolling too quickly. It's a guy.
Wait, is it just a comment on your video?
It's a comment on my video.
Oh, I thought it was some guy making a video. I thought it was like
no. But see, he made a video of, and this is the problem. I wish I remembered it. Oh wait, he made a reaction to that video as well, to the Kid Rock thing, and him and his friend or whatever loved it. Like, they were fucking all about it. There's a Confederate flag in the background.
Oh my god,
he's like an Upchurch fucking fan, and all, like he's that guy. So then he just said like, but he told my girl to cry harder, nigga, and I was just like the pastiest fucking Southern white guy, and was like, just responded with that when she just said like, why don't you just. It's very simple to just move on. Why do you gotta like leave a fucking paragraph? She said, dude, who hurt you? Just don't watch it if you don't enjoy it. And she's like, cry harder, nigga. Shit was cringe. Get over it.
What bothers me so deeply about that video is just like, I can't believe they used the same Trump girl, like the girl at the inauguration.
That was 4 years ago.
Oh my God. It's almost like it's not cancel culture, you know what I mean? Because there's nobody being canceled, but there's something about it where it's like this one moment from this person's life, right? That you're just like using over and over again, despite its continued irrelevance. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's something about it that like, I don't think it's like it's not the same thing, but it feels like analogous to me, where it's like, just let it die. Like, why do you need to keep this fucking clip moving? It's so old.
It seems like to me the people that use it, they're not they don't actually it's like I don't remember where I saw this. Oh, I was watching do you know who Vadim is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was
hate
watching
the way Kid Rock looks, bro.
Well, yeah, he looks like he's fucking melting. Like, and
he definitely doesn't look like a kid. That's for sure.
Dude, his fucking video starts off with like, it literally, and this is the problem. Like, I'll finish my other thought later, but like the video is, it seems like a South Park parody, but these people and his fan base thinks this shit's cool. That's why it's so terrible, because that video that he made, especially at the very end of it, he's like flying on a middle finger to space with wings and a gun. It's genuinely the gayest thing I've ever seen. This is something that I would do myself for people to laugh at me. Like, I would do a lot of stuff in the video. There's this Southern rock band called Monster Truck that's in it. And the fire that's in the background when they're singing, it's so fucking cheesy. And
It's
I don't
really-
understand how these people think this is like the person called my video cringe reacting to this fucking garbage. And I'm like, what? You genuinely think this is cool? Like when you see this, like this is
Yo, there's a
I'm
scene,
curious.
Derek. There's a scene of where there's a scene where the guy does the first guitar riff and he's like, "Ain't nobody
Ooh, but that's
gonna
what-
tear
dude,
me out."
I
He looks
never
like he's
heard it.
wearing a blouse, bro. Like he looks like
And the way
a
his-
droger with long hair. He looks like
It's like trying
And
to. It's
the
like
way that
watching.
he's fucking standing, he's like, yeah, like he's doing this weird, like he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, and I'm like,
It's
that's
like-
the weirdest thing.
It's like watching
my God.
Eustace play guitar. It's such a weird. It's such a
he looks like
strange.
a White Walker. He looks like a White Walker with tattoos
He
on
kind
him.
of does.
Like,
He looks like the
we-
White Walker, the second in command one.
Bad-
The
he
fucking,
looks like the first one that Sam killed.
We don't gotta go. I feel like we talked about it enough last time. Kind of. I think. I feel like.
we kind of did, but
Yeah. So
he
we won't.
just
We
keeps
won't
coming
go.
back around.
We won't go
Just
over it
keeps
too
coming
much.
back
But
around.
like bad music is not.
Featuring Monster Truck.
Bad music is just not forgivable. You know. It's just.
Yeah.
Just don't do that. By the way.
Yeah, like better music if you like music.
Everybody's been telling me, for the last fucking week or like 2 weeks or whatever, how long this show's been out, been telling me you got to watch Arcane, Chris. You got to watch Arcane. It's a really good show. It's on Netflix.
Arcane?
It's a League of Legends, which is already like a horrible pitch, right? But
Oh, it's a show about League of Legends.
it's like a show that takes place in the League of Legends world. And it's apparently very, very
Yeah.
good. And I believe
It's
that
pretty
it's probably very good because even Lyle likes it, and like Lyle doesn't like.
Animation or live?
Lyle doesn't like anything.
Yeah, Lyle.
Lyle's
What is
worse
it?
than
What is-
you.
Lyle
What's
likes
the style?
likes
Is it-
things,
is
but
it-
he's
is it
very
animation?
you know he you
He's
know
critical. He's a
yeah.
critical man. He's a
He's
critical man.
he's been through the machinima ringer, so he's got like an eye for like. But it's like an animated show. It's an animated series in the League of Legends. It's got a cool art style or whatever. It looks cool.
I see.
And then I came across this article, right, just by sheer happenstance. Enemy: How Imagine Dragons wrote Arcane's opening song with 2 chords. And I'm not watching the show. I can't do it.
You're so crazy, dude.
I'm sorry.
It's understandable.
I can't do
That's
it.
so ridiculous.
I can't do it. My main
Is it, though?
complaint about Imagine Dragons is that I can't avoid them, and they're on this show that everybody's been harassing me about. Absolutely,
You can
I'm sorry.
just skip the opening. That's so
It's the
preposterous.
principle.
I can't. No,
It's the
but
principle,
That's
man.
so
It's the
preposterous.
principle.
It's
Oh
the
my
principle
Lord,
of it.
dude.
It's the
I
principle
totally
of it.
understand.
God. Y'all are cums, dog. Y'all are dum-dums.
It's the
That's
principle of it. I
crazy.
can't do it. I
You
can't.
don't have any principality, man. That's you gotta like.
Principality? I mean, principal? A principality is like a place.
That's,
No, no,
that reminds
no.
me. That reminds me of my friend. When we would play, we'd play like my friend Justin. We would play Halo back in the day, and he would call momentum momentum. And he
Momentum.
never-
Oh, yeah, that's a real thing that some people.
I have never
that's like a
heard
real
that
thing.
before.
Some people have a problem with that.
Wait, what? Momentum? Wait, like
You got to get some momentum going.
momentum. Look, all
Yeah,
I'm
there-
saying is this: Arcane's a good show. It's worth the watch. Like, I
don't
hate
know.
League of Legends. I have a bad association with that. And like, I like the show so much that when I realized I finished it and I went back the next week to watch an episode and it wasn't there, I was sad. I was like, oh man, fuck, my weekend is worse now.
But do you understand that you're recommending me watch something about League of Legends, which I can't stand, that has been contributed to by Imagine Dragons, who I also can't stand.
I don't like Imagine Dragons either, really, but I could just
No. You don't like Imagine Dragons. I dislike Imagine Dragons. I
Okay.
actively feel unlike. You just don't
Unlike.
happen to enjoy them. There's a
look,
difference.
all I'm saying is that you could just skip the opening. Like, there's a lot of things I hate. Like, who do I hate? If Joe Budden did the intro to like
Why
some
is Joe
shit-
Budden? Why is Joe Budden the first person to come to your mind when you think of somebody you hate?
I can't stand that.
Is he
If
really
Joe
that
Budden-
terrible?
if
I
Joe, He's terrible.
understand-
He's terrible. He's
Look,
fucking
Joe
it's
Budden-
Joe Budden and DJ Academic. If
Dude,
DJ
Joe
Academic
Budden's
was found,
is the Keemstar of hip hop. Like genuinely.
Wow.
He's like the Keemstar.
I would say academic is, but I would say Joe Budden is definitely a fucking
academic. But see, academics is a complete whiny bitch. But people do respect him though.
Who? No younger person respects no older person, like no MC. Like that's why they don't get any people. Like that's why fucking like no one that has bars goes there. Like
yeah, but look at they respect him enough to where they listen to his takes, man.
Like look. I'll draw you sign out real
you
quick.
should respect him too because he would shit on. Well, that's not true. That's not true. He would shit on Royer and Mao and not fucking Joe Budden. Never mind.
Look, let me tell you something.
He would defend him.
Academic tried to have Joey Badass on his show. Joey said, "No, I'm not going there." He tried to have fucking some of Odd Future there. They were like, "No, we're not going. Like, no, suck my dick. I'm not going on your show because no one people like younger people
in the industry don't respect. I understand what you're saying.
They're like,
I understand what you're saying.
No MC is gonna go and sit down on the show and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna chop it up with you." He freaking like one thing he did that was super fucked up. He did that whole show about everything going on in Chicago, and I agree with Vic Mensa. Vic Mensa went on and he was like, "Yo, people are dying." And you're like making jokes and like getting paid off of the backs of all these terrible things that's happening involving a rap game in Chicago.
Keemstar. I think he's fucking Keemstar of the hip hop community. Like the way that he acts, the gossip that because he's just a gossiper. He's Keemstar to me. That's just how I see him. Where like he's almost at a certain point, like because he's almost a necessary evil. I feel like some people they kind of have to take the shit. And one thing I can at least say about Keemstar is that I'm actually going to say one nice thing about this guy.
I can't believe I'm doing that in front of me, but let's hear it.
Look, I'm going to say one nice thing because I was like, oh my God, this is actually a good take. So Jeremy the Quartering.
Oh, yeah. I did. I
did
know
you
what
see
you're
that?
talking. I did.
I was very shocked because
he was totally right.
Jeremy the
Quartering totally right.
Is just king grift, right? He's king grift. Like he's the guy that single-handedly like ruined the space that I used to make content in. He completely butchered it, and then because like he didn't even do like there was like no bullshit. There was like people like that, but King Jeremy just anything. They're like they all think we're this guy anyway.
Yeah.
So Jeremy.
He poisoned the well. He like got in 100%, and then everybody just lost all
shit in the well. Put cyanide in it. He fucking just
shit
everything.
In the well. He fucking monster.
He fucking did everything to it. But yeah. So long story short, the whole Kyle Rittenhouse stuff happened, and then there was the two people that were killed. And now I think a lot of people don't know who those two people were. They just assume that they're just activists. I think there's a bunch of people that are ignorant to the whole situation. They didn't pay that much attention to it. Mm-hmm. So the main actor of The Mandalorian just said rest in peace to those two people. And so Jeremy quote tweeted it and said, well, I just want you all to know that this actor who plays the lead in The Mandalorian on Disney
what's his name?
is I don't know his name. Right? That's Pedro That's Pascal. His name. And so like he's defending a pedophile or something. Basically, not only did he just shit on the guy for being ridiculous in a ridiculous way, but he also brought in Disney Plus and The Mandalorian. 1 billion% fucking cancel culture type shit, right? When these people say, "Oh, I hate this stuff," they're always trying to cancel. They're trying to cancel Gina Carano and all the shit. Where Gina Carano said, "Fucking conservatives are like fucking Jews during the Holocaust," and Disney was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Like, get out of here with your dumbass takes." And then they're all mad.
We're not mad at what you said. We're mad because you're stupid. Get out.
Basically, they're like, dude, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. We just get your paycheck. Shut the fuck up. You're working for Disney. So then they're all mad, right? They're all mad. And then all of a sudden now Jeremy's like, this guy who works for Disney is defending pedophiles. Like, what does that lead to, obviously?
Yeah.
And then so Keemstar quote tweeted that shit. Like, what the fuck? Didn't you say you're against this shit? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then Jeremy quote tweeted that shit. And was like, oh, I didn't know Keemstar defended pedophiles too. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's literally the exact shit that we saw all the fucking time. Yeah, like literally, it's like it reminds me of like videos that I would do, and I would be like, hey, it's kind of not cool to have like Civil War games on the App Store removed just because they had the Confederate flag in them because it's like relevant to the fucking context of what the game is. And then people were like, you guess someone defends the Confederates. Looks like someone loves the South. And it's just like, oh my fucking God. The context just dies immediately the second like you can get like some outrage clicks on it. And
context dies because of the fact that if you have context, most arguments don't make sense.
Well, context dies because context makes things immediately unsexy. Because suddenly things aren't outrageous anymore, and suddenly they make sense. Yeah. because they have a reason as to why they're happening. You know,
Bill Nye says the N-word because he's reading something historically and going against it, and everybody's like, "This isn't fun."
You know, it's funny you brought that up. I felt so immature. Well, no, he didn't say anything. But like, no. Like, but it just reminded me of like somebody I guess you would perceive as respectable saying the N-word. I watch one of my favorite YouTube channels is called Biographics, and it's this bald British dude that has actually a few channels. Like he works with people, they write the stuff, and then he just it's fantastic. And what I love about it too, also because you know how these idiots make these 2-hour long videos about people that don't matter? Like they'll make these biographics about really important people that are about 20 to 30 minutes. And I'm like, I love this channel so much. Anyway, so he was reading he was doing one on Frederick Douglass, and he was reading some quotes about certain things. And then I'm so immature that, you know, he says the N-word like hard R because he's reading a quote, and I'm just laughing like, oh shit, he said it. And then I'm going to the comments section trying to see if anybody was gonna be like, ooh, like, you know, but everyone was just all respectable.
Everyone's mature and because everyone was just trying to learn.
Was
and
so
then Derek's
mature.
like,
they were praising fucking Frederick Douglass for how great of a person he is, and I was just like, damn, I'm so immature.
Frederick Douglass is the man, bro. Frederick Douglass is the man.
Shit, but like I was hoping there was at least some idiot like me that's
I wanted
just
to
like,
name my first kid
funny.
after Frederick Douglass. Actually,
he's got 2 fucking first names, man. You can't go wrong.
I really wanted to be like.
We should.
I was gonna name my kid that. I was gonna name my son Frederick because of how much I respected him. I did a report about him in during my
Frederick
Tubman. Frederick Cubston.
No.
Cubston?
Frederick Tubman.
Frederick
your last
Tubman
name,
Luther King.
Sweeney.
Frederick Tubman Luther King Jr. Jameson.
Luther King.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard. Let's move on to some questions.
That's so not okay, dude. That's so not okay. I would love,
stupid.
I would love to hear my Mexican girlfriend try to tell me not to name my kid that and be like, why don't you want me to name my kids this?
Oh, before we move to the questions, have you had conversations about like names and shit? Have you guys fought about that?
Yeah, we had conversations about names already.
Yo, like, are you guys on opposite ends?
No, we agree. We come to an agreement. I wanted to name my kid.
Damn.
I wanted to name my
Interesting that he just happened to come to a complete like non-confrontational agreement with somebody who's totally real.
Who's totally
we argued about it because that's how it works. You know, every conversation at first between you and your spouse, if you had different points, there's going to be contention. That's just how it works.
Spouse?
Well, she's not my wife, but like she's my
Kingston. You just psychologically confirmed everything that we've been saying for like ages, which is you're married. You're a married person.
She's basically my spouse. She's basically been together
so
for
you're
5
married.
years. I'm planning on proposing to her if eventually, like soon. Like she's basically my fiance at least.
Yeah,
I hate that word. I hate that word so much.
It's weird.
Dude, I like it because I watched 90 Day Fiance.
But like we talked about names and like I wanted to give my kid a badass name, obviously because I'm a dickhead,
like Sparky, like Shooter.
No, like shooter, shooter with an A.
Shooter with an A.
What do you mean, like Shooter Chris?
Like Chris. I want to name my kid. So there's this so I played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was younger, right?
Oh
and
my
god.
Baggins.
There was this dragon that was like it was the king. It was just like it spelled the end for everybody.
You mean Blue Eyes White?
No, Grim like Grimma the Fell Dragon.
Grimma,
and I was like,
no!
I want to name my kid Grimma the Fell, Grimma the Fell. And she's like, why the fuck would you name a person that? Like, even contextually, that means he's the worst ever. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I guess you beat me back this time.
Whatever, nigga.
That kid would be shot on sight by the other kids.
That kid would
no matter where he is.
Dude, parents don't realize how important names are, bro.
He would have to turn into the strongest
shit.
kid ever and be able to defeat every other kid because he's gonna have so many people trying to combat him all the time.
I have some names. Oh wait, go ahead.
Let's hear. For me, it's gonna be Olivia, Julia, or for a boy, I would name my son Miles. Miles or Riley.
I like Miles.
Don't do Riley.
I like Riley.
Riley fits my motif.
It's all right, but I just think
Riley's just a porn name now for me. Like it's just there's so many. There's not even just her. There's just like a million porn Rileys to the point where it's like.
It's kind of like having Rose as your middle name. It's like, all right, dude, every fucking chick is Rose.
But every chick is Maria. Like I kid you not.
It's Marie or Rose.
Being a Hispanic man, and Chris is probably going to be able to agree with this as well. My grandma's name is Maria. My sister's middle name is Maria. My other cousin's middle name is Maria. My niece's middle name is Maria. My grandma's sister's all middle names are Maria. It's a virus throughout my family. And for Lily's family, some of the men have middle names Maria because that's a very Mexican thing to do as well. So it's just Maria's left and right. It's disgusting. It's just.
It is upsetting. Like that wasn't too prevalent on our side of the family though. Like we don't have too many Marias. There's I have one Maria in my family that I know of. That's so many. That's her name. But it's more like a technicality because my mom is like Marilyn. Yeah. You know, like variation. so it's like there's like there's like variations, but like
Marilyn, that's fucking classy.
Yeah.
Maryland's the tuned up version of Maria.
You know what? Yeah. That's another funny story. We were talking about like stupid shit we believed when we were older. Like, I didn't understand. Let me back up a little bit. Like when I was younger, like I would stay at my aunt's apartment, like whenever my parents would like be working because they worked a lot. My dad was in the army and my mom was like working in the city all the time. So like I would spend time at my aunt's place and she would have all these photos. Like she's my great aunt, so she's a lot older. And she had this like photo of Marilyn Monroe. It's like the famous Marilyn Monroe photo, like where it's like with the great. And I was like,
coming out.
Yeah, and I remember like I was like, "What's that?" And she was like, "Oh, that's Marilyn." And I was like, "My mom was a white woman."
My mom was this woman.
Like I remember I was so young, and I remember I was like, I guess that's possible. I didn't think about it. So for a kind of a long time, like until like maybe I was like 7 or like 8 or something, I thought that like my mom was Marilyn Monroe in some awesome. Weird context, and I was like so confused.
That's just kids' logic because we have such little information in our brains that we try to make because the plight of humanity is trying to understand the world.
But why would you? But also at the look, I understand like it's a dumb thing, but also like why would you as an adult say that like. What I would say, oh, that's Marilyn Monroe, you know, like that's a person.
It's weird to say
it's weird to just tell a child that it's like, oh, that's Marilyn. I didn't know my grandma's first name.
I didn't know my grandma's first name for a long time.
I didn't know my grandma's first name either for a long time.
My grandma's birth name is Marie Ann. That's her birth name. But her name on like what she was told to was called Maria. Everyone called her Maria and her family. And I was just like, I don't understand what her name. Like when I think I found out my grandma's name genuinely, I was like 10 or 11 when I found out that was my grandma's name because I called her grandma or abuela or like Gram or something like that. I would never call my grandmother her name. And then I remember when I found out her name because someone asked me, they was like, "What's your grandmother's first name?" And I'm just like. Grandma. Last name Jameson. That's it.
Grandma
like,
Jameson.
Are you serious? Okay. Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, that's my grandma's name. I didn't even know her. I learned her last name when I was like 15.
It makes sense if you only called them grandma. Like you're not really paying attention. So I kind of get it.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to call them by their name. You know.
I guess it's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's like people that call their moms and dads their first name. It's like, yo,
That's just fucking weird. That's like super disrespectful, dude.
That's crazy to me. Like I remember like I saw that at like a friend of mine's house. Like I can't remember, like this is a long time ago. Of course, he was a white kid.
It's a white thing. Yep. I fucking
and it
knew
was like, and he was like, Jessica. And I was like, you have a sister? You have a sister? Yeah, you have a sister? Like,
you got a sister?
Is there somebody else here that like I don't?
Fucker?
And then his mom came in. I was like, what? Like I don't know. Like I remember being genuinely confused that he wasn't dead on the ground.
Getting struck.
Yeah.
Like when she
That's
came in and
weird.
just when she came in and just responded and like, oh yeah, I'm making dinosaur chicken nuggets. I was like, you should be laid out on the ground. Your head should look like jelly right now.
You saw an alternate reality that didn't happen. You were like, oh, okay, I know what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna get out the way so I don't get hit.
Man, my fucking my friend Brock. So his dad is Irish, so he gets it on that side. They're all drunk and angry, and then then his mom is Mexican, but he just do the dad thing sometimes. Like if he needed to get a hold of his mom and he's in a bad mood, like Annette, he'd just be like, and I'm like, what the. I'm like, what do you like? It just, I feel like I glitch. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
I don't
it's
even
so
call
weird.
my friends' parents that. Like even your mom and dad, I call your mom and dad Mr. and Mrs. Maldonado. Like I don't like you.
I
don't
only call them by the first name if they ask, if they request.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, not even if they request. When I was first started dating my girlfriend's my girlfriend, call her mom, and we're supposed to call them suegros and suegras in Spanish. You know, like your in-laws technically, whatever.
It's an awful word.
Negras and negros. Go ahead.
Suegros and suegras.
That does not roll off the tongue easily enough for me to say that. So.
Oh, it's easy. Other than saying in-laws, you know.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like
suegros.
I call them
negras.
ma and pa. That's it. I never call them like her dad's name is Procuro. I would never call him Procuro to his face because that's just rude in my mind. Because he's my senior. I'm not gonna call him his fucking first name. But other people just do that, and it just like how
it is
you
insane.
Say that to people.
It's
like
weird.
That's just rude.
I remember like being curious about it and still never doing it. You know what I mean?
I don't even call my sister her first name. Really, truth be told,
that's a little weird.
Well,
I call her sis.
I think that's pretty normal.
That's
weird. I don't really.
You call
her,
your sister sis?
Like sis, yeah, or like, because I don't really call my. I don't really. Because what do I call her?
You don't.
I mean, you know what the weird thing is? I think it's not that weird for sister, but for brother, it's like because everyone calls each other bro, but you don't usually go like, "Hey, bro," like as in you mean brother.
Like my cousin's pretty much my brother. I have
heard some people say like,
him,
"Oh, hey sis." I have heard that. I've heard like, "Oh, hey sis."
I don't really call her Tiffany. Like I know her name's Tiffany, and like I'm referring to her, I say Tiffany, but like I don't really call her Tiffany. I call her like sis. Maybe I call her Tiff sometimes. I don't know.
Whatever.
My cousin, I call him dude or like bitch or something.
Do you just not say people's names?
Hey dude. Hey bitch.
I just don't people because I don't know because like I guess when you develop a formal relationship with people, I don't call them their names, but I call my friends I know I usually say yo or some shit.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand.
With you, I'm like, yo,
no. But everybody does that. That's like if my cousin's just chilling, I'd be like, oh, hey, man. You know, I don't go, hey, Justin, like I'm trying to establish a new character in a show. Like,
hey, Brian.
No, I don't do that. But like, what I mean is, like when you're trying to get somebody's attention, like if like they're in the other room, you say sis and like bro and like man instead of just like, hey, Justin.
I'm like, hey, like you've seen me do this. I'm like, yo, or like I say yell something.
I've never seen you do that because you've only ever like called because we're your friends. You call us our names.
I don't call you. I'm the only person in our friend group that called you Chris first. Everybody called you Nemesis, and I just called you Chris.
Yeah,
and then
weird. I don't have that type of relationship with people. Where you guys call each other by your fucking screen names and shit.
No. It wasn't a screen name. It was just like a nickname.
It was first. It's where it came from.
It was a nickname. It was a what name? It was just a nickname.
Why was it a nickname?
Because Chris is
worse.
Because Chris is worse. Because Chris is absurdly common. It is an absurdly
dude.
What does that mean? Then why don't you call yourself Topher then, bitch? What the fuck?
Because Topher's worse.
Who wants to be known as Topher?
I would rather be called
like Topher.
I would rather literally be referred to as an enemy than like be called Topher. So like I was just like this was like a Jalen thing. Jalen, our friend Jalen is insane. Like, and he like made these. I remember thinking like, oh man, it kind of sucks that they don't call me by my real name. And then they were like, oh, don't worry, they call me fucking
Gannon.
Butt Knocker. And I was like, oh, that's worse. That's significantly worse. But like, yeah, they started calling me Chris like when we moved. Heroin Hero. I remember Heroin Hero.
That's Paul. That's fucking Paul. They called him Heroin. They called Elliot Gannon.
Is it relevant to your guys' names at all?
No.
Is there any
no.
See, that's what's fucking crazy. Like that's the
how do you think
I understand you guys.
how do you think we felt, man? Like you're just like, what is going on? Like,
or they were like, oh, you look like the that villain from Resident Evil 3. Is that what it was?
Chris looks nothing like Nemesis at all.
I forgot that they called me that because it's been so long. That was like a high school, like bleeding out of like late college type thing.
If you pick up a picture, I saw that.
Yeah,
but if you pick up a picture of Nemesis from fucking
Resident Evil,
from Resident Evil 3, and you say the opposite, I swear I might guess Chris. If you give me 5 guesses, I might say Chris. I'm like, oh, Chris Maldonado. And they're like, yes, God, you got
this
it.
This is stupid, and we should go on to questions because we're running out of time.
You tell me that wouldn't be, it's like,
Wait, right before we go, I need you guys' validation or ridicule.
Okay.
If I were to name my son Otto Chad Pilot, what would you say to that? Now, Otto is Otto, not like Otto, but like, so it would be Otto Chad Pilot. What do you got to say to that?
I don't think Chad follows
is a terrible name. Chad's a terrible name.
I don't think Chad follows Otto all that well.
So Chad's like the bullshit thing where I just kind of stuffed it in there because I think he would be the shit just if his name was Otto Chad. Like this guy's fucking, like, he's just automatically a Chad. But like say Autopilot was like the real thing. Like it was just like
a comic book.
Yeah, so
that'd be cool.
I think that's kind of a cool name. I think that's like unique enough that like, but it's not like I don't know. It's like a Ladasha or something.
Mean, my kid's being named
I wouldn't
after
do anything
Miles
crazy
Morales,
like that.
So like, I'm nowhere to judge. I'm literally naming my kid after Miles Morales.
The only other name that's like real, that's just because fucking I've always loved the name. I love the name Leonardo. Like I just like Leonardo. I've always, because I don't know, that was always my favorite Ninja Turtle because he had 2 fucking sweet swords. Like I don't know, so it always stuck with me. It has nothing to do with Leonardo DiCaprio.
For me, people are like, name your kid Kent Princeton because that fits the theme.
I hate it so much.
Kingston and Princeton.
Princeton.
But that's so terrible because if I name
your
my
kid would
Princeton,
be so snobby.
It's just gonna be like I'm the prince. My dad will always be superior to me, and that's just a terrible way to set him up.
Can you actually name legally, like use swear words, like say if you want to name like no? Why is that though?
You can't name your son that, you know.
Great.
You can't name your kid that. You know.
God damn it! What's the timestamp?
Okay, let's go to questions. There's a fucking a UFC fighter or ex-UFC fighter named Michael Bisping where you're streaming and a bunch of people are fucking with him because they were like, oh dude, what do you think about the upcoming match between, so he was reading super chats and so he was oblivious and he's like, what do I think about the upcoming match between Cody Garbrandt and Nick Gurr? And like he was just like reading it and he was like, and Nick Gurr, and it was like and he was like, I'm not sure about that one. And he found out later. He's like, oh, these fucking assholes. You guys are good. He was going,
I hate the idea that people fucking did that. Fucking Nick
He's some fucking British dude too. So he's just all like oblivious. It was great.
That's pretty good. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't really thought about names really at all. I've just thought like I'll just default to some random Bible name or whatever the fuck. So he's not gonna get bullied.
Fuck that, dude. Don't do that.
Fucking
the most ridiculous name that I thought of, like straight up, like just like kind of the most like real, not, and I don't mean ridiculous as in like a meme, like how funny. Okay. I just mean like the most out there name that I would choose would be like Cade or something.
Oh, Cade, yeah.
Cade I think is a good name. I think it goes well with like my last name, kind of a little bit. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just too. You're playing with fire when you do that shit because someday that's not going to be as cool as it is. You know.
Yeah,
I think there's just
every. That's why you go with the
it
classic
just-
names like Chris and shit because it just.
That's why
Well, I just
people.
think it's
That's
just-
why
it
people
shouldn't-
are named those like
you know what I
John
think
and
is a
Chris
good
and
name?
Michael.
I think John, because John died. John died a long time ago. There's not that many Johns as
You're
far
right,
as
yeah.
like. So as far as I grew up with, I think I only knew one, but I knew a billion Davids. I knew a billion. You know,
Is
Well-
Nathan the Topher of John?
Oh, it is John Nathan.
kind of. I
It
never thought about
is.
that.
That's
I never
pretty
thought about it
fucking deep.
either
That's
until
deep thought.
literally. I didn't think about it until literally just now. But I was thinking like, yeah, John. I don't know. And then I thought
Yeah,
Nathan
somebody
for
was
you
like-
for some reason.
Jonathan and then Nathan. Holy shit, that's probably exactly where the fucking name came from.
Is that real?
That's so disgusting.
it-
Is
you're-
Nathan
yeah,
Filliots
probably.
named Jonathan Filliots
Well, it's just no, because there's people actually just named Nathan and Nate.
or
I don't think
Nathaniel?
they're-
Because
Oh
Nathaniel,
yeah, yeah,
that's a
yeah,
name.
yeah. Yeah,
So
Nathaniel, you're right.
Jonathaniel's the whole name? Is Jonathaniel the whole name? My name is
There's probably some
Jonathaniel.
asshole name.
That's a
Dude,
name. Fucking
my parents
Jonathaniel.
my parents fucked with my brother because these two names stitched together. He's Mark and
What's his
Keith.
name?
He's Mark Keith. And
Oh,
my parents
fuck
fucking
Keith. That's fucked up.
yeah. They fucked with him, and that's
That's
why
a
I
real
think that's why
name,
he's
though.
like.
This is my
It's
son.
a real name, but it's in a way that I feel like it's just. I feel like names are so fucking important psychologically that having a name stitched together like that is only gonna fuck with you.
That's
These,
like that. That's like if my middle name was Topher. You know.
Have you seen my name though? I have the worst name for a person.
Wait. What do you say?
I have the worst name. My name is Kingston, dude.
Your
That's
name
just a
is the
pretentious name. That's
I
just
think
an
that's the
ultra
fucking
pretentious
shit, dude.
name.
I think it's a
I
good
think
name.
it's the best. I like calling someone King. Like I think of King from Tekken. Like it's just King, man. That's
I
just
wish
yeah.
I
shit.
was
What are you
cool.
talking
Like,
about?
I don't like my name because my name feels like pretentious. Like I knew a girl named Chardonnay. I knew a girl named Chardonnay.
Oh my
See, that's
God,
different.
oh my God.
That's different. That's different.
I
I
knew,
knew
like,
an
that-
Alizé. I know that bougie shit.
But she
This
was
is my-
a white,
this
she
is-
was
this
a
is
white
my,
Mexican girl.
This is my daughter, methamphetamina. Like Jesus Christ, Chardonnay. Fuck you.
I've
Let's
heard
move.
She
it
was a
all.
nice girl. She was weird.
Okay.
We
All right,
gotta. We have
let's
to.
shotgun some questions. Let's shotgun them.
We gotta go a little bit longer now because we took too much fucking time. But
Okay.
all right, let's see. First of all, first question
Bilbo.
from Saint Maxi. I literally spent $25 to ask this, and it's the only reason you're getting this answered because this is a very uninteresting question. What are the lyrics to the opening song? And the answer to that is, I'm not going to tell you. But I figure, why not? It's been a while. I think it's been a while. So I think what I'm going to do for Christmas is I'm just going to put the song on the Patreon because a lot of people have asked for it for like a long time. People have been curious. You guys are going to be disappointed. It's more of what the intro is. It's the exact same thing.
It literally is. Y'all don't
Literally.
get it.
I remember a friend of ours was curious about it, and like, it was just like, yeah, it's exactly what you expect it to be. So that will be available for your listening pleasure at the end of December as a bit of a thank you to some of the people who are curious. But honestly, though, even I don't know the lyrics. I might have to search. I
know them, but I'm just like,
I have to look.
They're
I have
so
to.
dumb. They're
It's
they're-
it's just a bunch of edited together clips. So it's like
Yeah.
I need to go back and like I know
There's a YouTuber that put that shit up, right?
Well,
no.
the Living Tombstone is the one who made it. So he made the song out of like clips of like previous things, but he wrote out. I think I might have it in an email or like maybe in a Twitter DM, like way back of like every word of it. So maybe I'll look for it and I'll find it, and then you'll have your lyrics. But you'll find out as a little Christmas surprise. How about that, Saint? How about that?
I think people should guess before you send it out.
Yeah, you
just
should-
try
you
to
should
do
guess.
some misheard lyrics.
Yeah, that would be fun. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Dominatius von Squirticus wrote in. He says, "Hello there,
Oh my
fellow
God.
lesbians."
Sorry. I just remembered the fucking
Yeah.
cameo thing. Sorry.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Which would you pick? Always jacked without having to work, endless free food whenever you want, or be the greatest, or be a master at one skill? This is too specific. Master at one skill?
Yeah.
I guess so. You could just be a master of like the skill of being good at everything, and then you're set. You know,
that's like wishing for a million wishes.
I just did. So
yeah, you just. Why do you have to cheat? Why do you have to cheat
that lawyering
by nature? Like you just cheat.
It is my nature. No, I don't know. Fucking I don't care about being jacked. It brings no value to me at all. Endless free food whenever you want. That would put a lot of That would be kind of nice. That would save so much money. It's hilarious. Like you'd be kind of set for life. That's actually like a massive cheat code in being alive. Actually,
yeah, I definitely would go with that one because I actually enjoy the process of working out. I'm just fucking injured and shit, but otherwise, like I love that. So just having the food though,
like having limitless food is like a blessing. Like it's like truly
so
like a godsend. Like it's like, oh, I'm fine.
It's essentially just being rich, right? Because all these rich people you see there, oh, this is chef this person. I get so fucking jealous when I see that shit. Like it's like The Rock. The Rock always fucking appears on here's my chef making my favorite pancakes that you can never have. And I'm just like, God damn. All right, man.
Have you seen The Rock's eating habits, bro?
What does he eat?
Dude, he eats like garbage. Like he works out so much, and like during the week he eats like super clean. But then, like on the weekends when he cheats, he's so big. He's so big, and like it burns off so much that he eats like straight like garb. Like he eats like two whole pizzas. He just faces them by himself, and then he
with the right performance enhancing drugs, you won't fat won't store on your body. Like he's good.
Yeah,
like,
he's insane, dude. Like he eats like a fucking pig. Like I can imagine because I know people who bodybuild, and like most of them they don't like eating. Like they don't like ingesting food.
Because you gotta eat way more than you want to. Like if you're trying to bulk up, you have to eat like The Rock probably eats like on average 10,000 calories. Imagine how much that is in a fucking day.
Like
I'll throw up. I'll throw up a bunch of times.
He comes to work and he'd have like his food. He'd have like his food like prepped out, and he would open his thing and it would be like brown rice, like vegetables, and like pan-seared chicken with like the faintest amount of like seasoning on it. And he's like, I don't want this. Do you want this? And I'm just like, I guess. And he's like, I don't want to eat this. Like I don't like food. I don't like what food is. I don't like eating things. I don't want to eat things anymore. It would just be it's just such a sad sounding person. It's like not liking food just sounds insane.
I used to not like food, to be honest. Like I used to like not like in the sense that like there wasn't any food that I liked, but like I definitely liked the act of drinking more than I liked the act of like eating. Like I don't know, there was something about like because I used to have like bad stomach. Like my stomach used to be like really fucked up, so every time I would eat, I would be like, oh my god, I'm gonna be in fucking pain now. That was like a long time ago, but that stuck around. That like association of like food and then just like intense discomfort to the point where like. When I found like a drink that I really liked, I would just go ham on it because it was just like, oh, I can fucking taste things and not have to deal with that horrible shit. But
yeah,
now I love, dude. I'm hungry all the time now.
I'm currently hungry. I haven't eaten yet today because I don't eat in the morning because I go to class in the morning and I forget to eat.
Yeah,
I do similar things.
I'm excited to eat when I finally do eat. I can't wait.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
What is it? Swag loading 56% wrote in. He says, "Hey, Chris, Sween, and Derek, what was your game of the year? I have no idea what came out besides Resident Evil 8, but mine was Cruelty Squad. I've never heard of this. It's Cruelty Squad.
I know. I've
game of the year. Interesting.
So far.
Yeah, honestly though, like I'll bend the rules a little bit. It doesn't even have to be a game. I think it's more interesting when your game of the year actually doesn't have to be limited to games that came out this year. Like it would be interesting if like somebody's game of like 2021 was like, oh, this game that I missed in like 2017. So if that's something that like is more something that you're thinking of, that's cool too. I'd stretch the rules.
Yeah,
because
this year was not busy for me with games. I can't remember like what the fuck did I play this year. That's actually kind of interesting.
I know what game allured me. Like I saw the game and I got more excited than I've been in a long time, and that's Elden Ring. Like I saw Elden Ring, and I haven't been excited for a video game quite like that since Baldur's Gate. Like I just like, oh, I have to play this. Like I have to.
That's next year though.
Somehow get my hands on this. But for me,
I mean, I'm definitely gonna grab that shit. Absolutely.
For me, it's between Metroid Dread and Psychonauts.
Okay.
Cruelty Squad looks awesome, by the way.
What?
Cruelty Squad. I'm like googling it. Looks ridiculous. That does look cool.
Death's Door was good.
Whoa. Oh yeah, Death's Door. I mean, what did I play? Okay, so I played Hitman.
New games this year.
I played Hitman 3, which I think got snubbed a little bit. Forza Horizon, which was pretty great. Psychonauts, which I think is my personal. I think Psychonauts is probably my game of the year. That game was like just like unreasonably good.
Think that shit's gonna win at VGA?
I don't know. It might. I think it has a shot just because I feel like it's got like a good underdog vibe going for it. But I also do think it's genuinely like. Oh, It Takes Two is also fantastic.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, that's like a fantastic co-op game. It's insane. But I don't know, man. For me, it's Hitman 3 and Psychonauts are tied because Hitman 3 has such a hilarious. Hitman 3 has one of the best levels I've played in anything, and it's just like the second level of that game, and it's incredible. And that's memorable as shit. But it was like so early in the year. That was like January, so.
I'm not even sure I bought any new games this year. I'm actually fucking like I'm trying to look at. I'm trying to remember.
Did you get Mass Effect Legendary Edition or no?
I didn't get that.
I really enjoyed Mass Effect 1. Like truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's weird when you say that because like it's weird that you didn't enjoy 2 as much as 1. Or I don't even think you finished it. I
didn't enjoy 2 as much as 1 simply because of the mechanics. I wasn't exactly a huge fan of.
I just think you probably chose the wrong class.
No. I don't like the shoot. I wanted it to be more RPG than shooter.
I mean, if you pick a different class, you're not like say you can do something
I picked the infiltrator like I did the first time. You know, I picked the infiltrator and I didn't like it. I like the machine guns. I like the sniper rifles. It's fine. I just didn't exactly like the change in the way the game played from 1 to 2. It's still a good game though. I still enjoyed it.
The reason why that's incomprehensible is because we've played the originals. And I think that's what's kind of our hang up is because like that is inconceivable, I think, to me and Derek, because like the original Mass Effect 1, the version that we played is so much worse.
And it wasn't bad for me. It genuinely wasn't bad for me because I played the newer one.
But that's what I mean. So like when we hear that, we're just like baffled because we didn't experience Mass Effect 1 the first time that way.
Yeah.
Like we had like 20 frames a second and like fucking the worst controls in the fucking world, and the Mako would just fly off the fucking like I was playing Mass Effect 1 recently. I'm slowly making my way through it, and I was doing the Mako mission, like where you have to go through the avalanche or like through the storm and I was doing that. That's where I'm at right now. And my Mako flipped, and there's just no button could help. Like I tried.
Never flipped it. I tried to flip it. I tried hard to flip it, and I couldn't flip the Mako on a new one.
I tried to flip it.
Hard.
I tried to flip it, and then I couldn't. And then I was like, I guess you can't flip it. And then I just went and like I tried to finish the mission, and then I flipped it by accident. And I was like so upset. I tried to jump, it didn't work. I tried to like boost, it didn't work. I was there for like 15 minutes because I was like, oh my god, I can't remember the last time I saved.
I guess they were so confident that people couldn't flip it that didn't put in some type of failsafe. That's really weird.
It was such a fucking experience.
You gotta flip it over like Halo when you flip over
because
the
they were probably like, this is your fault. If you gotta try hard to flip that shit because I didn't. Like I had a pleasant experience with that. I definitely the improvements were fucking just drastic.
Oh yeah, it's night and day. Like the Mass Effect 1 in the Legendary Edition is night and fucking day from like the original, in my opinion anyway, from what I can remember.
Yeah.
Because I remember
I
remember going to Cora's Den. That's as far as I got.
Oh my God.
In the original.
That's the beginning of the game,
I remember going to Cora's Den, and it was like, I shit you not, like 15 frames a second, and my character just wouldn't crouch behind cover when I wanted him to, and like every time I shot, I missed because the people were dancing through time, fucking skipping frames every which way, and I was like, I can't play this when Gears exists and runs way better and looks way better. I can't do it. And I put it down, and then I picked it up with Mass Effect 2, but 1 is a lot more playable now.
Oh yeah, when you think
I
about
can't play this while Gears exists. That's so fucking crazy.
no,
to
but it
say.
makes sense. But it's the BioWare people, and the reason why they probably thought it was so fucking good. It was a major jump from anything else they've done. Yeah,
cool. So they were playing KOTOR,
like,
and it was
Jesus
like, yo,
Christ.
Yeah,
playing I can't believe I beat KOTOR 1 recently, and I was just like, I can't believe I got through this. Like, it's so, and the way your mind kind of plays tricks on you to the point where I was like looking at the sun, and I was looking at some of the tiles, some of the textures. I'm like, oh, this looks kind of good. Because I was spending so much time in it.
It's fucking freaky. It scares me that my brain can do that. I can look at games like KOTOR and 100 fucking dead ass 100%. My brain's like, oh, this isn't half bad. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I talking about? I look at like fucking, bro. And then I go play Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I'm like, what?
Well, I played a Jedi Fallen Order right after KOTOR, and I was laughing so hard that I was like, holy shit. It was almost breathtakingly. I was like, oh, this is too, I can't believe that I was drawn into that shit.
You were lying to yourself. You were for real, genuinely hypnotizing yourself into
I
thinking
actually,
it was fine.
No, I don't know, man. I think there's value in that. I think there was like I think the reason why we remember that so fondly, or those like graphics so fondly, is because they were so bad. I think like games that look really good now, I think we're going to remember fondly, but in a different way. Like, I don't think we're going to like, I don't know, like there's something about like the implication of detail that kind of let your imagination do a lot of work, and it was a lot more like it was almost like you were kind of like, even especially, this is especially true with like 2D games like Metroid and stuff. Like before Metroid like went 3D, everybody kind of had their own idea of like how Samus moved and like what Samus really looked like, and like
At least before Smash, yeah.
It was just like you kind of had to like do it in your head, because what was in front of you was just kind of like the framework or like the guiding kind of like, this is what you're going to be doing, and it's almost like D&D kind of. In that way, where like you kind of just, your mind does most of the work because the graphics can't do it. Zelda is the same thing, like those old Zelda games, like where it's like everything looks blocky, but your brain just sort of like fills out like, ooh, what's in that forest? Fucking nothing. That's what's in that forest. Fucking nothing. It's a literally 1 pixel probably stretched out real far, but your brain just sort of fills that shit in. Whereas now we look over the horizon, it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what.
I've seen Horizons in real life.
That's what that is. That's what, it's a forest, and it's very real. And I don't know. I think there's a charm in those older games that persists because of that.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know, man. I still think it's hilarious how like
it is funny.
You could play KOTOR and your brain could be like, this looks pretty good. Wow, man.
Bro, fucking PS1,
lightsaber looks great.
PS1 Hagrid, man.
Tragic design, man. But then there's games like Shadow of the Colossus that actually do look good, genuinely. Like, they still look pretty good. And I'm just like,
yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is a really gorgeous game.
This looks fine to me still.
The original Gears games hold up pretty well too. Like, I was they're really gray, which was something that I kind of forgot about, but
yeah,
they recently did this thing.
The point of it.
But they really did this thing. It's actually kind of funny because it sticks out now because we have like Fortnite and all these colors where it's like, whoa. Actually, it almost has the opposite effect now. But they did this thing recently on Xbox where like the original Gears games and a bunch of older games too, like Fallout 3 and like Mirror's Edge.
50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
And 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
It's back. It's real.
All those games, dude, run at like 1440p or 4K and 60 frames per second now, even off the original disc. And
right.
I couldn't fucking believe how well Gears of War 2's like Horde mode still plays. Like now that it's not like on that old hardware, and now that it's not like held back by like 30 frames and like the muddy fucking like resolution. That it is so cool to play those games again.
It's so those games are so fucking fun. Like the last time I played my Xbox One, I went through all 3 of them. No, I went through all. I even played Judgment, and like it's not as it's weak, but it was still like it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, multiplayer was so fun, bro. I remember playing it with my friend on split screen, and the sawed-off shotgun, people would walk by and you would just blow them the fuck up. I remember that being so fucking fun.
I remember the tact skill of like learning like the exact distance you had to be away from a wall for you to like magnetize to it, so that you could like wall bounce and get across the map like real quick. Gears was awesome, and it's like way better now that you don't have to deal with that fucking awful. Like I can't do 30 frames anymore.
Dude, I didn't know that 5 got so much hate. Like I looked at the reviews on Steam just because I was curious. Yeah? I'm like, oh, I see that it's on a sale, and I started reading the reviews, and these people were fucking whining, dude. I was like, wait, I kind of had fun when I played it.
it's got. I think it's getting negative attention for the same reason Halo's getting negative attention right now. It's because the monetization scheme of it is like really bad. Like the multiplayer like skins part of the game is like not handled well. But Gears 5 is a good game. Like I had a lot of fun with Gears 5.
I had fun with it. I was like, in the open world aspect wasn't even that bad. It wasn't.
I thought it was kind of cool.
It reminded me like Lost Planet.
Yeah,
it was a lot like Lost Planet. I think I don't know. Like Judgment's objectively the worst.
Sure.
And then I think 4 is probably like the next worst, although that's more just because it's just sort of forgettable. But like
I didn't play enough of fucking Marcus, so I'm like, well, I don't care about his dumbass son.
Every other Gears game is like genuinely a good game. Like I don't think they're like outside of Judgment. I think Judgment's the only bad one, really.
I don't even think Judgment's bad. It's just
Judgment.
Not as good.
Judgment is Dark Souls 2. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, it really is. It really is that kind of situation. But 4 is weak only because they have you fighting robots the whole time, and it's like, this is a Gears game. Come on, like I wanna chainsaw through people. I don't want to see wires and fuck this. But 5 has a lot of blood, so makes up for it.
That's a lot of interacting with the world. I thought 5 was a good game from what I saw. I didn't finish 5 yet. I played all of them up until Judgment, and then I even played the Tactics game.
Tactics is great, by the way. Yeah, Gears Tactics is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend that. Like, that's my favorite Gears game, I think, sincerely, which is crazy.
I recently played Halo Wars 1, actually. I started playing Halo Wars 1. Shit's dope.
Yeah, those are good games. I'm really bad.
It brings so much context to the Halo story. It brings like way more context than I was prepared to get.
I am so bad at RTSs nowadays that I don't like. I got Halo Wars 2 to just support because I have to own these things. I'm a big fan, but like I got through like a couple missions of it, and I was like, this is good. I'm bad at this. I'm gonna watch the cutscenes, and they were awesome.
Jalen played it, and I remember Jalen playing it and being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and we would just go and watch him just be confused playing Halo Wars. It was hilarious.
RTSs are hard, man. Like I used to be good at them too, which is so weird. Like I remember playing Command and Conquer Red Alert like a lot when I was a kid, and doing well. But
I am not good at them, but I'm able to play them. I'm just not good. Like I can't trap anyone and like do some wild shit where they're like, hey, now you have no chance of winning.
Wow, these people just look like they're on drugs when they're playing, don't they? They look like they're on fucking speed. Like the way that like
the StarCraft people.
Yeah, it just RTS in general. Like what I saw a person playing Fortnite like that, and I was so upset. Where I saw him like building a fort or whatever, and and then I was just like, what? How is that fun? The way that he was playing it, that's why I feel a lot of the RTSs where there's like they're clicking so fast that I'm like, are you enjoying what you're doing?
It is.
That doesn't look fun. That does not look fun.
The gameplay loop of Fortnite confuses me because like it's like I want to have a gunfight with you, and it's like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna build a 2-bedroom a 2-bedroom house, and it's like, all right. Like I don't know, like I could never get into the building aspect of it. But while we're on the subject of video games, and we did talk about Mass Effect a little bit, Iron Pond wrote in. He says, "Hey Derek, Chet Hanks, and Hispanic Goblin. Why does he?
Hanks? That's so
Chet Hanks.
Why are
disrespectful.
you Chet Hanks?
That's so disrespectful. What does that mean?
You do have the bandana
because
on today, though.
he does that Jamaican thing, and you're a Caribbean.
So is Chris. That's so rude. That's so disrespectful. I don't like that.
Would you rather be Hispanic Goblin? In fairness,
I'm not goblin-esque. I'm more of a bugbear, but I guess
you're more of an
whatever.
orc than a goblin.
Oh, really, Chris? You'd go as far to call me an orc, huh?
I'd go as far as to say chimp. Even.
Okay.
Derek is real quiet.
No, but
Whoa.
fucking what is it? Hey, Derek, Chet Hanks, Hispanic Goblin. What is a game that disappoints or frustrates you every time you think about it? For
Kingdom Hearts
me,
3.
well, there you go. For me, it's Mass Effect Andromeda. It felt like a game that really could have been better. A whole fresh start to the Mass Effect universe, and it was frustratingly average at
Bro, why you
best
gotta bring that shit up, bro?
and
Yeah,
unplayable at
shut up.
worst. I think you probably got Derek's right on fucking point.
Why you gotta bring that shit? Like, I don't think about that game, but when you're right though. When it's brought up, which it almost never is, because who gives a shit? But yeah, that game is fucking incredible. It's so frustrating because of what Mass Effect was and what that game could have been. But they gave it the type of, oh no, that's not true. We already know what happened to it. They scrapped this shit and they had almost no time to fucking work on it, and then they cut all the corners like the definitive edition of fucking GTA, where there's like, we gotta just put something out, and that's what you got, and it sucks. It's just disheartening is the best word to describe it. Because it's like, damn, going to the Andromeda Galaxy, so many wonders, so many different ideas and possibilities. And then we got these rock fucking things, and then these stupid idiots that look like these Star Wars aliens that I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so not original. I don't need to get into it. We don't need
It is a frustrating.
They just busted their pants.
Mass Effect Andromeda is like, it's like seeing Santa at the mall and he's cursing. That's how I felt when I first played, because I loved
touching the kids.
It's just, disheartening is like the right word, because you're looking at something that should be like a nice experience. You know, I'm a kid. I have the magic of Christmas in my heart. Like, there's Santa, and he's just going on a tirade about IQs. And like, this is so like, I really wish I just want to be home away from this. And that's what Mass Effect Andromeda is. It's like,
and your parents are pushing you to go talk to him. You're like, Santa's cursing, Mom. I don't want to be near Santa while he's cursing. He's cursing and he's waving a candy cane around, Mom. It's
Santa,
not safe, clearly.
Mommy, what is race realism?
What's that white stuff under his nose, Mom? It's like, oh my
Mom,
God.
Why is Santa talking about critical race theory so passionately, Mom? I don't want to be here.
they're teaching our kids this shit.
Can you imagine a Santa at the mall ranting about that?
There's a
though.
difference
I
simply
fucking
based
can.
on skin color. You have to understand. Mom, I don't like this.
Oh man, yeah. That's a good one. I agree with that person. That I would say something recent. Like, I really, and it's not the studio's fault, but like I played Greedfall, and that game that game needs to be AAA. That was like, I'm like, oh come on, like this game had a lot of potential. It just didn't have, That was a really solid premise that just didn't have the funding it needed.
Proper backing.
Yeah.
But,
bro, the fucking cape, if you put a cape on that game, it's fucking seizuring. And I was like, fuck. Like, it gives you extra armor. And I'm like, I can't look at this. I can't fucking look at it.
I can't play.
It's distracting.
It's so distracting.
It distracts you when you're fighting too. When they show up and you're just fucking, your cape is just going bananas. And
Cape
they're
is
just like,
just
what
fucking
the
like,
fuck?
I was like, okay. All right, never mind, bro.
I'll lose the plus 50% armor and the movement speed. I can't do this. I'd rather not have it.
Yeah,
I feel like the game that frustrated me the most. It's not a Halo game. It's not anything like that. I think genuinely my real answer is there's a Destroy All Humans game that came out for the 360, and I loved I loved Destroy All Humans. I thought it was like Bully but with aliens, and I was just like, this is so sick. I love this. I'm really into just I was like child too, so I was like really into the concept of like aliens and like fucking the fourth kind and shit. Like it was all just like I was just like encapsulated by it. I loved it. And so to just play these games where it was just like this kind of like satirization of like 50s and 60s America, and you got all these like really cool weapons that are like genuinely underrated. Like there was a gun in Destroy All Humans 2 that summoned meteors from the sky and it would level buildings entirely. And it was like, this is so sick, it's unreal. Like people say Ratchet and Clank has like the best weapon selection because you can fire at an enemy and they'll dance. And I'm just thinking about like that time I shot a meteor at the fucking Empire State Building or whatever. I was just like, this is so fucking fun. And then the 360 came out, right? These are all PS2 games at this point. Next gen Destroy All Humans, everybody's excited. Maybe there's multiplayer, maybe there's co-op and shit. It's like, this is gonna be so much fucking fun, just dicking around with my friends on like flying saucers and like just destroying shit. And then a version came out for the Wii called like Big Willie Unleashed, and it was like made by some random fucking studio, and like none of the voice actors came, and I was like, this looks rough. And then the 360 version was made by this studio because EA shut down Pandemic. They killed Pandemic.
Yep, perfect.
So they shoved development off to this game studio who's called Sandblast Games. If that doesn't sound familiar to you, it's because they didn't do anything else and they died before the game came out. So it came out, it was just like this. I'm not even joking. It was like 10 frames a second. The textures were all fucked up. The physics didn't work. The AI didn't work. None of it. Like, it was playable front to back, but nothing worked. And it was like, man, this is so fucking depressing. Because it was like, it had everything going for it. It was like it was in like the fucking 70s, and like there was like disco, and I was like, oh, what a cool fucking setting that we never see in video games, and they just fucked it up because EA had to be themselves and shut Pandemic down.
EA just fucks up. I don't know why they're so good at fucking up. Like, what is on with them?
You know what's wild? They're actually probably the best studio, or not the best studio, but the best publisher of the big three right now, because Activision is going through this whole fucking thing where their CEO threatened to kill a woman, and and just all that shit. And that, by the way, is so bad that like even the CEO of like Phil Spencer at Xbox, Jim Ryan at PlayStation, and fucking Doug Bowser at Nintendo all are like, yo, there's some bad shit going on at Activision, and it's like they can't ignore that forever. And Ubisoft is just like, here's a free-to-play fucking random shooter every 2 seconds, and it sucks. And like, here's Splinter Cell, but it sucks. Here's Ghost Recon, but it sucks. Here's Rainbow Six, but it sucks. And like, they're just, everybody's fumbling the bag. But EA, you know, they put out that Star Wars Squadron game. They put out like fucking that the Dark Souls Star Wars thing.
Fallen Order. They
put out It Takes Two, even, I think.
It's not bad.
EA Games 2021.
They're not doing anything that's just colossally pissing people off right now.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition. They have Apex, and it's like thriving. Yeah. Knockout City, which was kind of cool, genuinely.
It's a fun game. I still play a little bit.
Battlefield 2042 is their biggest fuck up recently. And even that's just like, you know, people love Battlefield. It's just like an unstable mess. But like, I don't know, man. In comparison to like Activision and like Ubisoft,
Activision's on fire right now. Activision is fucking Russia in the 90s, bro. Just breaking down. Everything's going crazy. Everybody's fucking vying for power. There's a bunch of tribes going at it.
Yeah.
They fucked up Overwatch 2. If they would have released Overwatch 2 and it would have been good, during the time that shit came out, it wouldn't have been as bad. They wouldn't have got as much heat. They'd have been like, well, but Overwatch 2 is not bad, and everybody would have been playing it because I was excited for that game. I'm still a little excited for that game, but I don't know when it's coming out.
They fucked up Overwatch. They fucked up Overwatch 2 real bad by even making that a thing in the first place instead of just consistently updating the first one.
Keep Overwatch and then just keep going.
Yeah,
yeah.
When you can spend $2 on a new game, what are you talking about? Plus, they can add a story and pay $60 for that. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Like I hear what you're saying, but it's stupid. It's not consumerism, bro. What the fuck?
It is a look. I'll just say it this way. I don't mean this as a compliment to EA. I just mean like it's a dark day when EA is the best one.
Right. You don't get complimented for not fucking up, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to get complimented for just not being a piece of shit. But they still have like their fucking sports. EA Sports is still cunty. That'll always forever be trash.
EA Sports. It doesn't change.
It's in the game.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
Dude, fucking when I love, my favorite thing to do is watch Madden reviews. And I'm like, how are people like, I'll buy 2K when it's on like sale because it's the only, there's nothing else. And I manipulate the game enough to where I have fun with it. But I see the reviews and I feel so bad for these people that they don't do anything about hackers. Like if you play, they don't do anything. There's no support. PC can run next gen shit. They don't fucking care. They're like, we're going to give you some bullshit there's going to be no story, or they call cutscenes. There's nothing. We're going to cut like fucking like 40% of what would be in the new and people still buy it and they're paying $60 for it. And I'm like, this is the saddest shit ever.
Every year, dude. Every year they buy it. It's wild, man. One of my good friends buys every
Crazy.
FIFA game, and I'm like, bro, stop. And he's like, I can't stop. I can't.
It's a rough.
I'm fucking Hispanic from below the border. I can't not buy FIFA. I have to. It's his life. He spends hundreds of dollars on every FIFA game. And I'm like, bro, just buy comic books or magic cards or something else
They
that
can't
you'll
help
get
it.
something from. And he's like, I can't.
They can't help it, especially this is like their game. Like this is like
He's
it's like
Salvadorian. He can't help it, bro. He can't. He can't do it. And I'm like, bro, I love you. You have people here for you. Stop buying them. But then you know what happens? I see it and I go and I play it and I almost buy it myself because it tricks me too. It starts tricking my 8 brain as well.
The fucked up thing about the sports games, especially, I don't know Madden and FIFA, but I know 2K, the gameplay itself is fucking great if you like basketball. That's the problem. There's nothing else. So these people are like, what do I do? And they just keep going. And the thing that pisses me off so much is the new gen versions, they actually did some overhauls. They did some different shit. They had some different concepts. I was like, that actually looks really fun. Holy shit, there's a whole city to explore. There's like actually side quests and stuff.
There's a city
PC
in a
doesn't
game?
have it. PC can't fucking do that shit. PC, they just gave you, it's crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad for these people. Especially since they don't know how to mod or anything. They can't get anything out of it. It's like, I'll mod this shit and I'll have a fantastic time with it. Or I'm like, I'm having a great time. I don't have to, because people spend hundreds of dollars on virtual currency. Because otherwise you'd have to play like 6 seasons to get like a decent score of like, so you can be, I'm 85 overall now. I finally can kind of compete with people. You know what I mean? Because all this shit's play to win. Me, I fucking mod the fuck out of it, and I'm already a god, so it's cool. I don't play against people though, because I don't fucking care about that shit. But I'll beat the fuck out of the CPU, and they fucking. I'm talking about 34 steals a game, dude.
What the fuck? That's ridiculous.
I break records every single game. It's so fucking good, dude.
It's like custom games. It's fun. It's fun. The chaos. That's our show. If you liked what you heard today, consider supporting us.
What's the title of this one gonna be?
We'll figure it out.
Who's that? Mr. Magic, or what is his name?
Uncle Majic. Uncle Majic.
Yo, we're gonna get Uncle Majic so much more fucking relevancy because they thought he was dead. I thought he was dead, bro.
I thought he was dead too. Like I forgot. I thought he was a dream, but like I mean. If you liked what you heard today, consider supporting Uncle Majic over at patreon.com/thesnarktank. $1 a month gets you early access to every episode and access to bonus solo episodes. $5 gets you a question read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. That's one payment and you're in for good. And $25 gets your name dyslexically read at the end of the show, which I will now do. Nikki Ziggy. Her name is still glitched, so.
You think Uncle Majic has a cameo?
I hope so. because I would pay a lot.
For someone like he's not doing good, I'm sure of it. So he definitely got a cameo.
He's not doing good. I'm sure of it. How do you know? He's got a 2017 commercial. He's been active recently.
Yo, if he survived the pandemic, dude, then props.
That's right. He could be dead. He could be a dead person. I didn't even consider that.
I didn't even mean that. I meant his business.
I didn't even consider the fact that he could totally just be a dead man.
Oh my god! Stop it.
He just got sick from throwing too many parties.
Yeah.
Like, during the pandemic, he was still out there throwing parties, and everybody was like, "Uncle Majic, is this not safe?" And he's like, and Shakim the Clown dies. Not even him. Shakim the Clown dies first.
No. It's not. They didn't die from COVID. Their business was struggling, and all these other clowns were getting party invites, and all their business was being stolen. So you know what? Uncle Majic and Shakim the Clown ganged up together in their lair. I assume they have a lair, and what they did was they created a little virus. A little virus that
created COVID.
Shakim and Uncle Majic created the pandemic as revenge. So it's like, if no one wants us at their parties, then no one's gonna have a party.
No one's ever gonna party ever again.
It all fits.
Oh my god.
All right.
What if you saw the patents for the vaccines, all three of them, and you look and it says Uncle Majic.
Uncle Majic.
Oh my god.
He owns Pfizer, Moderna, and J&J, and AstraZeneca.
Oh my god. Let's just count, please. Let's count. I want to get through.
All right. Count me down.
2, 1.
Bored Burger, St. Maxi, Johnson & Johnson is a dog whistle for Jeffrey Epstein and Jared Fogle. I fell asleep at a Nickelback, Daughtry, and Stained concert, story and thread. We'll get to that story next week. We didn't have time today.
Remember, it's been a while.
Rusty Cage's Epoxied Rat, Talos Volcaron Apothecary of First Claw, 10th Company, 8th Legion. Alstawal, parentheses, no, you didn't say that right. I will gladly die on this Mega Man X8 hill. It was a great game. Y'all are fucking retarded. Maxwell. He's still on that. He's still very passionate.
He won't
Avi,
he knows he's wrong.
He's so upset.
I don't have eyes. I just have teeth.
Ave. Chris, it's pronounced like having, as in I'm having sex with your mom. Nice. I changed my name every other week. My sins can't follow me. That's true. I have no idea. Like, if you're somebody from like a long time ago and you had a specific name, I have no way of knowing. Especially if you change your photo. I became a patron and spent $25 not to be able to come up with a clever name. Haunted houses. Well, first of all, these are not clever names. These are not clever names.
What a loser.
Don't compliment the other names by insinuating that they're clever. Like, you could type anything and they would be just as clever as anything else. Haunted houses, hate gays. It's the home of phobia. Duncan, master of all things, cute and funny. Wage slave 583. Help! I shot my son.
I'm trying to fuck around to get something nice and good. I'm not getting there yet. I'm trying to.
No, you're not getting there. You'll find it. Yeah. Does Sandman come sand to avoid unwanted pregnancies? Dead inside. Arcane Furukawa. Better to pee in the sink than to sink in the pee, but not in women like Chuck Berry. Parentheses that pee in the sink. Shrinkus Funkle Dunk. The Warlock who is using transversive steps, and $25 gets you into the Connor King versus Connor King deathmatch. See who is crowned the real king this Saturday. Damn you, Chris. The next episode came out faster than my name change. He who nuts loudest and last ain't right, because united we stand, united we come. The immortal words of the concert will come. I challenge the other Connor King to a fight. There can only be one. Paraplegics aren't people because people are bipedal. Roller skater, masturbator, the bipolar masturbator. You
scared this shit. Derek, you scared the shit out of me. You scared the fucking... Holy crap.
It's like a cat looking at a pickle. I have PPSD. I called the Coast Guard to save my anal virginity. Chris Raycom, more like Chris Racism. Ryber525, the mystery of the sudden uptick in tomboy appreciation. Jack King Hoff, racist snake. 10 hours of Spawn saying Malboja, relaxing sounds for stress relief, meditation, and deep sleep. Sweeney, you have to let her go. It's been 3 years. The accident wasn't your fault. Randall the Vandal with the booty you can't handle. Tell him
nice.
Steve Dave. Chris Raygun, more like cringe gay cum. Stop and stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown sicko 6-0 psycho who throws his dick around. I don't know what that is. My name is Ryden, and the president just grabbed my balls. Andre Brooks, an invisible flaming rat on the lam, leaping at a nuclear vat to eat the hand that fed me. Antiphus Maximus, the host of Mussolini's Pinata Party. Vanessa, listen, it's fine. I got cream for the crabs. I'm not mad anymore. Just talk to me.
What the hell is that?
That's some real shit. That was some real shit right there.
Chris Chan's dripping gooch gash. God is dead because Travis Scott killed him. Bears, if I were an animal, I'd be a bear. They're cute. They're cute. Dear Lord, I'm going to hell for this. John Strickland, Limp Sniggins, Mercs 1889. Hi, I'm Paul. The meat beat skeets neatly on her teats. The First Church of Keith David, the one church that doesn't touch your kids. Birdman, leave them Birdman, leave them ninjas in a trash can. Leave them outside of your door. I'm your trash man. Drunken Doulahan, Pre-Roz, Doug Dimma Dumbass, A Tiny Asian Man's Weekly Sauce, 177013. And last but not least, the King of Haphazard, Cum Man, the Man of Cum, Blake 896, Mario spreading his asshole live on Twitch.
I love
the
that.
Epic Oshawa, it's a good one. The Epic Oshawott, fucking kill me. Hey, boss, informs a copy and pasted block of text, usually posted on a message board to troll new users as an inside joke. Ryan Lucchesi, Ziegel, Women Don't Matter, Sweeney 2021, Sloshy Scout, Atrasoni, Thomas Newman's iconic string orchestra swells up in intensity as I take a monster shit on my toilet. Like on my toilet, not even in it. Jesus Christ.
Fucking chimp.
Animal. That's like a fucking deep-seated... That's some fucking... Derek, you look like the idea of crab.
Derek, you look like what the girl from Exorcist was doing when the demon showed up in the background.
Oh my god. Atrasoni, Sloshy
When
Scout,
Beelzebub
Thomas
shows
Newman's iconic string orchestra, blah, blah, blah. Tom Sweeney, the atrocious alien fucker. Antifa Sarkeesian, Lord Autism and High Priest of the Church of Asian Keith David from Cloud Atlas. I'm Chris Raygun, and Arcane is my favorite show because it has Imagine Dragons. Oh my god.
Dude, look, the color, the light in his room looks like his eyes.
I understand. I'm
like
scared. I'm reading. Hard Hat Skydiver, Monkey Monk's Monkey Monastery, Alaskan Oilfield Trash, Evil DaBaby says, let's just stay here. Marcus Shorten, Sussy Hank Schrader Hater, and Public Bank Masturbator, parentheses, I masturbate in banks. Game Controller 25, I live for your piss, Chris. Murder Ascended, Keith David, the sucks that feels Chris's pain. Raise my flags, don my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. Lobotomized Jesus, patron saint of pillow humpers. The only stick I touch while driving is my penis, parentheses, I masturbate while driving. Hiroshima Spicy Mushrooms, Dummy Thick Dave. Heartless Wretch, aka the fat black manlet from the worst borough objectively. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. That's a pretty nice cum-filled Twinkie versus cum-filled sweet roll this Sunday. I, Christopher Maldonado, frequently and enthusiastically masturbate to hentai drawings of Snark Tank.
Nice.
Nice. Yummy Yummy Come Inside My Tummy, Jackson Absage, Badly Brave, Hugger Derek, the movie theater manager, Ethereum, Chris Gate, my Pajarian hunting ass, All Hands on Dick, Richter 86, Quinton reviews Slow Descent into Madness as the bald patch in his beard overtakes his entire being, and King of Haphazard. Thank you all. This very well might be the longest episode we've done. I'm not sure. I don't know if we've done a 3-hour show, but
we did a 3. I think we did a 3-hour once.
This is definitely one of the longer ones. So
yeah, for cheesy.
We appreciate your support. Thanks for stopping by. We care about you, kind of.
Radio Cactive, Radio Macactive. Whoa.
Good way to end. Good segue. Nice.
Radioactive.
Real good.
Farting, shitting and farting.
Oh, niggas,
I hate
bro.
this. All right, it's over. It's over. Bye. See.
What